Here we are again. Same bat time, same bat channel. I am joined, as always, with Mitch, playing our resident glitter boy. No, that is not a euphemism for a dancer in Miami. He is in his big mecha robot with a big gun. We also have Deyton playing a dog boy, a tracker of magical things.
Which is also not a euphemism for Deyton.
Which is also not a euphemism for certain types of furry. So, I am Wiley, GM here at the Wileyverse. Oh, you should hand me the underneath all those letters. Is that round case?
Oh yeah. The magic dice.
The magic die. So I had a birthday the other
month.
The other month. I was having a birthday the other month. It was super soft. There may or may not have been a pony that we finger painted.
And a cupcake decorating station.
Glitter and a whole bunch of cocktails with fruity ingredients. But a friend of mine, so he is a woodworker, and he made this case himself in his shop. It is awesome. But even cooler is inside, his daughter, who is an engineer, made this for me.
A velvet sack?
A velvet sack. Just cup it just right. And it's got a... I'll probably give it to you guys to show, because this camera isn't high def enough. It is a 20-sided die that has been 3D printed. There it goes. Nice. It's been 3D printed.
It's more solid than it looks.
Yeah. It is amazing. When you roll this, like, unfortunately, if you roll into felt, it doesn't do the same thing. We were rolling it onto
a hard
laminate
bar, yeah.
But it actually makes these tinkling, awesome sounds when you roll it onto hard surfaces.
Try it on the table real quick. It might work.
Yeah.
You can hear just a little bit.
Yeah, it needs that laminate. It needs that tile or laminate surface. It's beautiful. But she went into CAD and designed this and 3D printed it for me, and it's got to be in some type of metal. It's
absolutely
amazing.
metallic.
So, one day when we play D&D or something that uses a 20-sided die, I will get to whip this sucker out.
That's what she said.
Excuse me while I whip this out. But for now, we are playing Savage Worlds' version of Rifts. Rifts is a Palladium game from back in the day. Wild and crazy, everything goes, kind of D&D with giant robots, magic in a post-apocalyptic Earth. And Savage Worlds is a great, streamlined, simple, generic system which handles a lot storytelling really well. When we last left off, our group, who was working out of a castle refuge, one of the few bastions of sanity and progressiveness in this world where there's a whole bunch of hate and demons and destruction, is under siege by hate and demons and destruction. And they've infiltrated the fortress of this shifter who is leading the army of hatred, demons, and destructiveness.
And then we had a harrowing escape and we're on our way home.
Yeah, except for that didn't happen. Yeah. Instead, they went back inside. They could have gotten away, but instead they went back inside where Lord Krollvag, the Gargoyle Lord, who they have already destroyed his forge and kingdom and killed his mate, has found them to seek his revenge. He is a Gargoyle Lord, standing 20 feet tall, but he's in power armor. He is in a robotic power armor created for him out of this salt stone, which is a magically prepared stone, pretty much like the Gargoyle's version of steel, magically imbued and powered, techno-wizardry. And he is sitting in the room So let's set the scene, shall we?
Krollvag's your middle name, isn't it?
Vag.
Oh, Vag, excuse me. So your Krollvag is your middle name.
No, what was the dwarf's name?
Rocknug.
He's Rocknug. First, drink from not our sponsors, but we're available.
Stella, hit the like button.
Help end the global water crisis.
Right. I will fill up a chalice with water.
That's correct.
So they are in a room that is on the outside of this mountain, essentially, where they've holed themselves up. There is a hole in the wall exposed to the mountainside. There used to be a door and a ledge there, but then Beethoven, the dog boy, blew it out to destroy a couple gargoyles that were coming in. I think it was 3-4 gargoyles.
Technically, they blew it up. It just happened to be my grenades.
Your grenades.
It just happened to be my ordnance that blew it up.
In the middle of this room
But I didn't set them off.
is a pile of rubble that you've been using as cover. You are now on the side of it that is exposed to the hole in the wall. So you are now on the other side. So there's a hole in the wall on this side. On this side, there's a door. That door's been slammed open. It is also lined with grenades, but they have not gone off yet, that you have planted, where Krollvag is sitting in his power armor. You are in the middle, with the cover of the rubble in the middle of the room between you and Krollvag, but you are exposed to the outside. Your back is to the outside, where gargoyles have been coming down and trying to fight you. On this corner, you have been dutifully repairing your glitter boy and have just gotten into the suit. You haven't locked in yet, but you are in the suit. You have repaired your gun. You have checked it over twice. You find out that it's not naughty. It's nice. It'll fire at least once.
This is where we ended last week. I was like, I lock in my spikes. You're like, see us next
week.
week. Tuesday. I'm like, no.
And on the other side is, on this side of the room, is Shani, the NPC. She is armored up in her Egyptian-style magical armor with her flaming khopesh out, and she has just said something in the gargoyle language that has infuriated Krollvag, and his attention is focused on her.
She called him a bad tipper. It's a huge insult in gargoyle.
Yeah, I actually have what you said down if you ever ask. So
I could have swore I was actually on the Krollvag side of the rubble.
You had just switched.
You switched. That was your last action, was to jump away from him.
So I ended the dude outside then?
Yes. There is nothing outside. You took them all down.
Got it.
There's nothing outside at the moment. That's not to say that more can't fly down.
Right.
But you put the rubble between you and him because
for some reason I thought
he
I was
is
still
a Gargoyle Lord.
with that jackass.
Normally just on their own, 22 feet tall. In the power armor, he's about 26 feet tall. This power armor, which coats even his wings. The wings don't have full articulation. He actually has thruster jets to fly, and he just uses his wings for steering. It doesn't have the full motion.
It seems like he wouldn't want his wings armored, right?
He does, because you want them not vulnerable, but by doing that, he's took out any ability for him to fly.
Gotcha.
So he just now has fixed wings, essentially.
That's
they're folded up and they move a little bit, but nowhere as a gargoyle's normal wings would do. On one arm, he has got this cannon. You don't know what it does, but you're probably going to find out unless you can kill him in one shot. On the other hand,
it would be cool if my knuckles popped. Just silence.
He has this claw overlay, it's just massive, and there's serrated parts of it that look like they're motorized. So, and then inside the casings, behind the motorized shards that are coming out, is what looks to be like molten energy.
It's
so
a this dog spiker on it, right?
It's like dog neuter. Chopper sick balls. So he has this pretty much this magma claw on this hand, and he's looking down at like you're in power armor with a rail gun, you're a glitter boy with a boom gun, and he's looking at the girl in the magical armor like as the biggest threat. That was a great roll on her taunt, by the way. So this is the first deal of the game. This is initiative. So it's going to determine
so it's always
how
a fun
it
way
all
to
goes
start
down.
a session. Let's start with a deck shuffle.
I already have a great idea.
Uh-oh.
As soon as you shoot and get his attention, I'm going to tell Shani to fly, carry my ass out of here, and you're locked in, so we're just going to...
See ya! I lock in. We escape. I stand there.
As of this moment, Shani has not wasted any additional PPE. She can pop her wings. She can pop her strength, which means she could fly both of you out, theoretically. But, of course, you can't do that while this guy can follow you, because he'll just gun you down.
She can pick me up with her wings?
Oh, yeah. With her strength.
Oh.
It's not just the wings. She has to have her super strength on as well.
Oh, that's right. She helped me up the cliffs. That's correct. 6 and 4.
8 and 5.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible start. 8 and 5. And the 8 is of clubs, the worst suit. So
I have to rub it in.
Yeah. Hopefully you get something done.
Queen Jack.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Wow.
fine.
You can't have that.
You can't have that, but the 3 is the dog pack.
That's
So,
right.
there
They're
you
like,
go.
give me the better card. That's after that.
They're like,
The
'cause we're
queen.
so bad.
Yeah, there we
Of
go.
clubs. The worst queen. 2, 3, queen for Beethoven. Shani. A 3 of clubs.
Yeah. Let's laugh at Shani in that 3 of clubs. Not only is it a 3, it's the worst 3.
It's the worst 3.
It's the worst 3.
The worst 3. So like you get that 3 of spades, you're like, ooh, but it's a strong 3.
Right.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Joker.
9 of hearts.
Yeah, at least one of us gets to go.
It's
So
like, that just
you're
barely
keeping-
beats most of us.
You're keeping all of the bennies that you had last session because we're in the middle of combat, but for surviving this long, I am distributing 1 additional benny to everyone.
You are trying to kill us. I knew it.
I'm trying not to kill you. Also realize
We're not
that
helping.
Alright, let's
that
just get
this
ready.
get that ready. That this is a wild card villain, so he has his own stack of bennies.
That's good.
So he is going to be resisting you hardcore.
Thankfully,
Most of my
Mitch
dates.
is going to have a really good shot on this one
Yep.
shot.
So who's going first? I think it's Queen.
It is Queen.
Queen.
Who's queen? You're the queen?
He's the queen.
Yeah.
He's the dancing queen. Only 17, which is what?
I got a strong beard for a 17-year-old girl.
2 3/4.
I don't know. It's like a 17-year-old girl.
It's 2 3/4 in dog years, right?
There you go.
Aww.
I just got an under the table middle finger right now.
Oh.
That's a move in the Kama Sutra.
The under the table middle thing.
There you go.
Alright, well,
All right.
the Queen shall take a shot with its railgun
Okay.
and discover how much it won't hurt this thing.
Yep.
That's what's about to happen.
So its rate of fire is 4, correct?
3, isn't it?
No, it is 4.
It is 4.
That's
So
why I have these
4 of your
tens here.
Oh, sorry. My details are for damage.
4 of your shooting die plus your wild die.
Alrighty.
Hey, it's better than sometimes.
Okay, I'll see. There's at least... Nope, that's a 6.
Is it a 6?
5 and 4?
No, it's not. That's a 9.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 0. 90. Yeah, that's a 9.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, we got a 9, guys. I get to re-roll this bad boy.
And you knocked everything out of the way?
It's 12.
It's whatever, it was a 5.
Yeah, so
But
it's 12 so far. This is 9.
wow, okay. Does it even matter?
No, it just... I mean,
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Let's see what you get to.
Okay, so...
Sometimes I do reward...
23.
Yeah, sometimes I do reward...
and then a
super
4,
rolls.
So 1, 2, 3, 4
so I got
strikes.
a 23.
Okay, a 23.
A 9.
A 9.
5 and 4.
5 and 4. Okay, so...
No, I mean, before I had to get, like...
You have
extras.
rock and roll, you have all the stuff that makes you have no penalties, there's no real dust or anything in the air, the thing is +5 size, so those are all 4 hits. 2 of them with raises. Tell me which one you're doing for the 23 though. I'm going to give that something a little extra.
Yeah. You get like a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah. If you can wound him with that, I will let it do something extra.
Alright, so I'll just roll that one first.
Alright, you wound him with a hand job.
So my... What is my damage again? 2d8 plus 4.
2d8 plus 4?
Yeah, why do I have 3d8 here?
Is it really only 2d8 plus 4?
Mm-hmm.
You don't roll your wild die for
Nope,
damage.
you do not roll your wild die, but it gets the
No.
extra d6 for the raise.
But I did get
Oh,
a
this
raise.
is raise, sorry. That's right.
Yeah, 2d8 plus 4, AP 6.
Do it. It's okay-ish.
So we're already at what?
So it's 16.
16. 18.
Add a d6. Can't do that for damage.
No.
I get excited every time damage. I'm like, add 6.
Yeah, 18.
Okay.
AP 6.
AP 6.
Well, what I roll? I rolled an 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Plus
that's
4.
actually plus 4, so 22 plus the AP 6.
Okay.
Still probably won't matter, but we shall see.
You start that volley goes into him. It starts just ringing off the armor, but then you see one shot rings off his chest, goes up and hits something in his helmet, and sparks kind of fly out of the helmet. But he just kind of twitches a little bit and doesn't seem to really care.
Okay.
So, next shot.
Alright, next shot.
You should go for the leg sweep.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Next shot only does 12.
Okay.
Right?
Is that a 1?
Yeah. That was my other one with the raise, so things are about to get worse from here.
So it was a 16, actually. So.
Oh, yeah, that's
Plus
right. 12 plus 4.
16.
That's 6 AP. But the last thing didn't really do anything, I'm sure. 16 didn't.
Ooh, doorbell.
What the hell? 12 again?
Plus 4. I can't see. You're asking me the number, but I can't see if you get your hand
7
on
and
it.
5?
Yeah.
So 8, 7, and 5 is
It's 12.
12
Plus
plus
4, so
16
16
again.
Same roll.
And then 9
Stay in
plus
school,
4
kids.
is,
7 plus 5.
what was the Reddit post that says your calculator history is probably more embarrassing than your internet history?
Mine's respectable, I would like to think.
So then
I would say that my longhand math is
13
more
was the last roll.
15. Okay. So, I mean, you light him up. You see that one spark, but everything else just kind of puts gouges in the armor. That's one shot. Remember.
It only goes down by 1?
It only goes
Oh,
down
yeah,
to
that's right.
each round of fire, because it doesn't fire in any other mode but burst. So, I mean, it's not even burst. It's just a hail of shards coming out of that railgun. All right. Funny. So you got an 8. right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the 9. He's got the Glitter Boy Killer card.
That's great.
Or he's attacking Shani.
He is attacking Shani. So he's thrusting forward.
I bet he is.
Powering up that magma claw and trying to just smear her across the wall. Giggity goo.
Yeah. You have to say smear and then say giggity goo.
I saw the look on your face. I knew what you were thinking. Alright. Oh shit. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Good luck, Shani.
Dude, have fun. Not a raise. Hit with a 9. Not a raise on Shani. She has a parry of 6. Actually, she has a parry of higher than that now. Yeah, she has a parry of 7 now. No. Yeah, 7. So yeah, not a raise on Shani, but still has a potential to kill her in one shot.
If that happens, my escape plan is ruined.
I think it's everybody's escape plan.
Yeah. There's a side of a mountain one way, and going back into the Shifter Fortress the other.
Yeah, but she could fly me out the side of the mountain.
Right.
And he can stand
like
there and just take the beating.
There's no, like... What's happened to his
Plato's
armor?
news, and there's like no love for him at all. No one knows him that well yet.
Oh my god. Wow.
As you fly away.
18, 20,
I turned my gun and fired at you.
22 AP6.
I'm going down. Sorry, you guys.
You start flying away. I hold the Gargoyle Lord back. I got this. Fuck that. It's like that Mario jumping off with Yoshi. You see that? Like, he turns around. Yoshi looks mad.
Yeah. When Yoshi trying to save him as a child. With him, I don't think we're going to make this, Mario.
Yeah.
So that's an 1822 AP6. She has 12 against this. So 12 to 17, 17 to 22. That's shaken with 2 wounds.
Wow.
She is going to soak that. Oop, that's his.
Fuck you guys with your giant Benny stacks.
She hasn't been using much. So.
I know, I'm just looking at her like, why is your big guys? Oh.
Like, to be fair, during most of this, she hasn't been doing...
14, so she soaks everything. So as, like, he comes up, she just barely, like, she just kind of drops to the ground, and that magma claw just breaks and melts a whole chunk out of the stone wall behind her. Okay, so your go next.
Yeah. Deploy spikes next.
That's true. Yeah, display spikes.
This fucking glitter boy armor, man.
All right. I'm already sweating. This guy's mean.
Yep.
New round.
And Shani just...
Oh, Shani. Yeah, I guess I should do her.
It would make sense if Shani did something.
The thing is, like, she can't, like, if she jumps away, he moves around. So she's kind of got to, like,
needs to keep him at the door.
he's not at the door anymore. Do you want to tell her to lead him back towards the door?
Well, yeah.
Taunt him over there.
When the fuck did he leave the door?
When he thrusted over and attacked her and tried to smear her against the wall?
Get him by the door!
I mean, you can just talk that into your radio. She can hear you.
Door is open for balls.
Get him by the door.
Get him by the balls.
Alright, so she's going to dodge to the side, roll out, and head over to the, like, through the door, so she's through it, and, you know, try to, hopefully he comes up on that side. You have to remember that she'll get hit by some of the blast, but you put all of those grenades inside, so... Next round.
One time go first. This would be like the one time going first would be awesome.
Also about all those.
Don't make that stupid face. God damn it. Boo.
3
And Joker.
of diamonds and 5 of clubs.
Seriously?
Holy crap. It is your... Like, you just suck all of the horribleness out of this deck.
I do.
Like,
We've gotten 3.
it doesn't matter how many cards you get.
We've already gotten 3 threes.
It didn't know. It didn't know for the first 2-3 sessions, and you were getting Deyton's cards. Now it's like, wait, Mitch is getting 2 cards now?
Well, I hadn't had a chance to touch all the cards yet. Now that I've touched all the cards, they've all got my mojo on them. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you need to get improved level-headed so you can get that 3rd card.
Tell you what, I can mess your chances up for winning the lottery by touching your ticket.
Ooh. 2 of clubs.
Hey.
And King of Diamonds.
Fuck off.
Which, by the way, is the Splugorth Slaver.
There he is.
Yeah, there's the fun guy.
Yeah, I remember those guys. We ran away.
Yeah, you ran away from them.
Well, I didn't.
As you do. Shani has got the mysterious Queen of Spades. We don't know who this is. If you know who this is, please tell us in the chat.
No, that was Plato.
Was Plato? Oh, you did run. Yeah, we didn't run.
We avoided them.
We avoided them. Yeah.
No, well, you ran away, and then that witchling came after you.
They don't need to do that.
It was an army of Splugorth.
You're embarrassing us in front of our new friends.
Yeah, it was an army of Splugorth. You weren't supposed to stand there and fight.
Good thing we didn't. Because it's totally our MO.
You might have.
I know what I'm saying. It's totally our thing. Insurmountable odds? Let's do that.
Yeah, let's just stand here and fire. I'm just going to stand here and shoot.
We should start doing that every game, so we have to start a new game like every week.
Yeah. Well, this week...
He's like, go pick mushrooms. I'm like, a fire on the sheriff of the town. You're like, let's go pick the mushrooms. Softer and softer missions.
He got a 9 again. But
he got a 9.
That 9's only better than Mitch.
Yeah, I get to go last.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm going to deafen you so hard right now. You're going to be so deaf.
I mean, I'm going first. I could technically kind of move the hell out of here.
Yep.
I mean, I just shot at him and did jack shit.
That is true.
You should be used to
And now she's over back through the door, and you don't know how long this taunt is going to last before he comes to his senses and realizes that there's a glitter boy in the room. And he has to deal with that.
I'm not shiny anymore.
I have a very dumb idea.
The front of you is not shiny.
I have a very...
And you are between him and that glitter boy.
You're betwixt us.
Mm-hmm. I have a dumb idea.
Shirt, by the way. I like that.
Yep. What's the dumb idea?
I'm going to throw a grenade.
Okay.
Like, I don't want it to go off, so I'm just going to, toss it.
Uh-huh.
Without,
Can you make something sticky in it?
Just so it's, extra.
He needs to work on that.
Just another grenade that will be present for hopefully when he hits.
That's way better for because if you figure out somebody to make your grenade sticky, every time I shoot something that's got a grenade.
He needs to start getting, taking demolition packs, doing all kinds of stuff to do with his grenades.
We haven't been at Castle Refuge in forever.
It's been 5 sessions.
and you were only there once as full-fledged members.
So we need to start taking notes, too, because I feel like this entire time in the field we've been like, we need 9 other things when we get back to
Here's the interesting thing about grenades launched out of the grenade launcher. I use the Aliens style. So the Aliens, they have the grenade launchers in the bottom of their guns. He pulls one out, Gorman, in the vent.
On it too.
So he pops the cap that's on the top. So it looks like a rifle round, but with a cap on the top instead of a bullet stuck in there. And he pops that cap, and there's a clicker. And when you click it, it has a timer. So that is it. When it's launched out of the gun, and it crushes through that cap and hits it with a certain amount of impact, it detonates immediately. But all of those grenades are also dual-purposed to be handheld thrown grenades. So you can pop the cap, click down, and that cap can only be smashed if it's flying, out of a barrel. So that's what you're, dealing with. You can any of your grenades that are for your grenade launcher can also be pulled out and turned into a regular toss and throw grenade.
Yeah, I just want to like.
But yeah, you're just trying to load up the
throw one, roll one, whatever the hell I gotta do to get it there without it exploding.
Where are you putting it? Because all of like, so he is. So if the room is again like this, like you're kind of in the middle here, Glitter Boy down here. He's over here now, and all your grenades are on the door over here.
That's the door is where I want it to go.
And Shani's in that door.
It's a pretty good door.
I'm really hoping that he is going to get lured over that door. I'm putting all my... What's that? Don't put all your eggs in
one basket. Don't put all your grenades in one door.
I'm literally putting all my grenades in one door.
I'm doing that. What's the saying? Don't do it. Yeah, I'm doing that.
I'm going to do that. That's exactly what I want to do.
I said I had a dumb idea. I didn't say like...
Are you rolling it like right in the doorway, or are you going to roll it on the side so it's still like everything is blasting in and there's some protection?
Oh no, I'll still have it to where it's on the inside with us, so to speak, not like inside the fortress. Huh?
Which kind? What grenade you got?
Another AP grenade.
An AP grenade, because you just put frags all around those.
Oh, the one I put frags around this one, I have AP.
Oh, nice. Okay, so another AP.
I thought about this ahead of time.
And now, besides that, are you moving? You can do that and move.
If I can do that and move, absolutely.
Where are you moving to?
Well, he's going to deafen the crap out of me, so not move towards him.
You can't just use 20 yards.
Yeah, this entire room is going to get... You're going to get knocked down, thrown back. It's not going to be
Doesn't matter how close I am to him.
Nope.
20 yards.
Doesn't even matter.
Like if I
I'm saying at this point it doesn't matter. He's asking it doesn't matter how close he is to you now.
Oh.
If he wants to run up next to you, kind of a thing, and cover you, you can. I wouldn't recommend running towards the Gargoyle Lord because then he just might go, there's a target right here for me to attack. I might as well do that. But
do I still have my rubble?
Yeah.
Your what?
The rubble.
Oh.
Now, if you jump back on the other side, you're going to be in range of your own grenades. But you can go down to kind of like the end and put rubble between you and him now, and your grenades would be off to the side over there.
I think I would do that. Because I don't want to get close to him just in case he does draw the fire of this thing. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm standing here too.
All right.
Oh, you set your hands on fire. Oh, I blew your hands off.
So Queen, she looks over at you, and you just see this like, are you gonna kill him or not? Kind of like panic look on her face, because like she can't do much more unless she starts popping in powers and all that kind of stuff. So she's gonna try to taunt it one more time.
I say that crap again.
Yep. So she is saying more stuff to this guy.
Make hand gestures.
That's how big a gargoyle dick is.
But she'd probably go like...
She's like... Needle dick, needle dick. Good thing about a microphone so we could pick up me whispering needle dick. Needle
dick. So I did successfully get another AP grenade over there?
Yep.
Correct.
Ooh, she is not letting that stand. Okay, much better. So she yells something at it again, and it now looks even more frustrated and over at her. So it goes next. It's running over to her.
I would say it's not my fault, but it's pretty evident that it is my fault. Like something in my nature.
I just imagine like you're just standing there like ready to fire, and you're just like, no, you guys go. I'll wait.
So it is.
I'm like, get it down.
It is trying to cut.
There we go.
It's just basically just blasting that magma claw through the wall at her, which is going to have a very high probability of setting off all those grenades. Yep, it hit, but not her because of the cover of hitting her through the thing. So now I'm going to roll damage. at a threshold to see if it ignites one of the grenades.
This is bullshit.
Bullshit.
All night. All they do is magma claw, magna claw, magna claw.
Oh yeah, that sets those things right off. All right, how many did you have over there?
3.
Plus the new one?
Yeah.
So only 3. Roll them.
I did not have very many of them.
What's the damage?
But I still have some. But AP 8.
Okay.
That's not the damage.
Nope. That's good to know though.
3d8.
So roll 3, 6.
That's mega damage. But
3, 6, 98. I like to use the chunky salsa rules.
Don't I have another D?
You should have. Oh no, I have it.
Oh yeah.
Let's use some of these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
16, 8, right? How many do you need?
9. He needs 9. 2, 6, 9.
The bucket's behind you.
I'm guessing he has one more. Come on.
Either one of those.
Not the yellow one.
The green one is the one that the gargoyle is using.
Okay, so
Please tell me you got some 8s in there.
I do have a couple.
Good.
Right, so let's add up
So let's do real
10, 13, 14, 16,
plus 10,
22,
26.
26.
You added those already?
Nope.
The ones in your hand are another 16, so 32. It's 26 so far, right?
26 plus
This
16.
is 10, 10. So this is 20. 4, 6 plus 16 is 42. Sorry, 42.
So we're at 42 right now. Correct?
Yes. So 48, 49.
All right. Well, let me figure this out. 49, huh?
Mm-hmm.
In his face.
49.
Obviously.
Couldn't have gotten that 50 out of it. Make a nice round.
Sure, Mitch was doing math, so I was probably wrong. But... Did you have a black one over here?
No, I did not.
Is that mine?
I think you must have. Because this one doesn't want to use an accent.
46. 46 to 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's soaking that.
He just got soaked. Like we need like Final Jeopardy music.
Yeah. All right. So, Shani is rolling. She's losing her next turn to roll to get out of the blast radius, as she doesn't want to get stuck in that, and she kind of saw what was coming. What'd you get? Oh, you didn't get anything to hit. Never mind. Yep, she gets out of the way. So she dives back into the fortress. That thing just detonates out. The entire place is now filled with smoke and dust and ears ringing and everything is deafening. Yeah, he just obscured area.
Just in time for your shot.
So
Yeah, that's right.
you have no idea what state anybody is in at the moment. Your sensors can barely cut through anything. You see vague shapes. It's your turn. You don't know what happened to the Gargoyle Lord.
Stand by.
You could, you had its last position.
Yeah, but if I shoot my friends, everything's over. So.
Okay.
Maybe you'll draw a card to go first this time.
Wouldn't that be lucky?
As the dust begins to settle just a little bit at the end of the turn, that Gargoyle Lord is sitting there, and you see that just whole, from his shoulder, chest, whole side of the face just peeled open on that armor. All gone. Just cracked, blackened skin. Blood coming out. He is a mess, and he looks very, very angry. Still up. His Magna Claw is off. That thing, it's still a claw, but it's not glowing anymore or anything like that. You don't know what state the cannon is in, or his power supply at all. But he looks like he's down on one knee. He looks terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Hey, those grenades did something. They did something.
They did. Not what you intended. It's all good.
I was really hoping you'd be able to shoot
shit
with those.
You just kind of ruined. You just ruined everything. Ace of Spades.
Nice.
Joker.
Fuck yeah.
Why didn't you leave one of those for him? 2 best cards in the deck.
I don't need to go. He needs to go.
Alright, so Ace of Spades Joker for the Glitter Boy!
+2 to my rolls, right? Because I have -1 to my rolls right now.
You don't have any targeting systems or anything like that, but
this will just negate my negatives.
He's shaken.
Yeah.
So it's +2 because he's kind of kneeling and not dodging.
My wound is a -1. Is my fatigue a -1 too?
Yes.
So there's no... So there's no negatives.
No negatives, no positives. Yeah, like I said, you do have marksman still. One of your heroic rolls or traits gives you some plus to shooting.
I do have +1 to shooting.
So that will give you a +1. But none of your targeting systems or anything else are properly working. Here we go. You got both red 6s. Congratulations.
Cool.
Diamonds and hearts. That's the minimum you can get.
You're right, you have to get a 6.
The only thing that you could have gotten is if instead of a heart, if you got the club, that would be the lowest set of cards you could possibly draw. Congratulations.
It was my turn to get something good. Watch, he's going to get the other Joker.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for it. Right? I'm that would be awesome.
That would be not awesome. That's the wrong word for it.
Jack of Spades for Shani. And 9 of Spades.
Okay.
All right, well.
Your brief pause, I was like, damn you, cruel fate.
So just got to make sure.
Right, it's not the bottom.
All right.
I was really
I'm assuming you're... Oh, and you get the +2 for the Joker. So you're going to get a +3 total to this roll.
So I get +1 then, because I have -2 to my...
You have -2 for wounds. +2 because he's shaken.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's +2 for the shaken, that's right.
So those negate.
+2, so
+1 for your marksmanship, and +2 because of the Joker. So
I'm going to shoot him.
Yep.
You're just going to have to do a vigor check for deafness. You might still be okay.
Yeah.
Hold on
well,
to the butts.
Mainly, yeah, that's going to be bad. Just go ahead and shoot. We'll figure out the aftermath. It may not matter.
Alright. Let's see.
Oh, Benny's spending.
Should we add a d6 or just re-roll?
What'd you get?
2 3s.
Oh.
Adding a d6 will only make it a 9.
Add a d6.
Only a 9.
For sure.
Well, I will get a. I will succeed no matter what. It's
remember,
4,
you have a
right?
+2, so it's technically you're at a 5.
You have a +3.
So I'm actually at a 6 right now.
+3. +3. Yes.
Add a d6. Add 2 more.
So
8.
8.
That's a hit with a raise.
That's a hit with a raise.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I was like, remember you had these pluses, so like I don't know about rerolling though. You could have like.
Do I roll damage, or do we have to do all this stuff first?
Nope, go for it.
Shut up. 25, 26, 29.
29.
Is there a +2 to that too, or no?
Oh
yes.
No! It's the shot is.
The shot has a +2
right?
itself.
The damage on that is D12 plus 4. No, 46 plus 6.
4d12 plus 6.
Plus 6.
Okay,
AB 25. So it was, what did I say it was actually? So it's, this is 20, 25, 26, 29 plus 6 is actually 35.
And you added the D5, the 6 in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what'd you say?
35.
35.
AP 25.
Plus 2 because the Joker.
Plus 2, so 37.
37, including me. 37 AP
25.
25. Yep. All right.
I hit it.
You did.
I hit him.
That thing goes off. This entire room just comes apart.
Yeah.
The rubble blasts back. No, don't bother roll. It's too small of an area, too confined, too much rock.
Yeah, you're going deaf.
Like, rock comes down, you are knocked back into the rubble, which is knocked back into the wall. This wall, like, next to you, that was, you know, where the door was,
Yeah.
it breaks down and collapses because it already got 3 AP grenades go off on it. So that wall blasts out. The wall behind you cracks, and that's like a solid wall. The rest, like pretty much from your foot spike out, collapses out the mountain. So like you were like the hole for the outside of the mountain was over there, and you were kind of in the corner. That just sheeted off, and now you are standing next to the open air off the mountain. The roof cracks. Stuff falls onto you, smashes into your gun again, pissing you off.
That was my plan all along.
Everything shakes. Interestingly enough, being this close though, it clears all the dust and debris. Like it just blows it all out, and like there's the vacuum, so it sucks some of it back in, and more stuff falls. You have no idea where Shani is. You're on your ass. That Gargoyle Lord is nowhere to be seen. There are pieces of what you think may have been his armor embedded in parts of the walls that are still there. But yeah, you put 3 wounds on him. You put him there.
I put 14 wounds on him.
Yeah.
Go from 3 to negative 12.
I couldn't even. Well, let's see if he would have soaked. I don't even think he could have done anything. So he had 35 armor. Okay. 20 of that was armor. His natural skin and the power armor.
But my AP.
So your AP wipes all of that out. So he had a 15 toughness to you, and you did what? 40.
I did 39.
39. Yeah. So 15 to 19, 19 to
exactly.
So there's no way he could even soak that much.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't roll that many. He's got a D10, but there's no way I could roll that many 10s.
So his head survives the explosion, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not much left. There's nothing. Like his head is embedded in the roof. The rest of his armor is embedded in just as pieces into the wall around.
That's my first shot in 2 sessions almost.
Right.
Since we've gotten this cave, I haven't done anything.
Since you shot the reactor and the gargoyle in power armor in front of it.
Oh, I wrestled somebody once.
Yeah, you've done some melee.
Hang on, my ammo's down to 91.
Stupid ass.
Yeah, your sensors are all going crazy. Your ears are ringing.
Oh, his hermetically sealed power armor would give him some deathness protection. Yeah. Okay.
So it's mainly
power armor.
You're static. Like your thing is all staticed out. It's recalibrating. Like your screen goes black for a second, which is probably the most terrifying thing you've ever experienced in your life as being in a power armor rebooting, where like you have
no smell,
nothing, no smell, no visual, no.
Not that used to being in power
And
armor.
exactly, and you rely so much on your senses. It's such a big deal to you for that to like go off, and you're still hearing ringing in your ears just from what came through the armor.
This gun is awesome.
When you come back to, so you can pull up stakes now.
I so immediately started looking for Shani because she was dangerously close to that.
She's running back in to the room and basically just slides and tries to get out of the way of the opening, which is now bigger because the wall came down. So when she, like, you, as you kind of get up and this whole scene's like just crumbling down the mountain side next to you, and you're like looking around, you're finding him in the rubble, you just hear her run back in. She hits the ground and rolls, so it's obvious that she's avoiding something. And you look off to the right and you see the next chamber has gargoyles and gurgoyles in it. They're all recovering from what just happened. She's over grabbing you, like picking you up. She's yelling something at you, but even with everything that's going on, yeah, you're just like,
do you see that?
That, and like she's like yell, and like kind of like the shock of everything comes back in there, and she's just like, "Can you deal with them?"
Well, I'm still locked in, right?
Nope. You had to pull up stakes because like
gotcha.
you didn't have a good one on the left side anymore. But you had pulled up and stepped a few steps into the room, so you could plant and just do it again before these guys recover.
Might as well.
Yep.
I'm naming this gun the Gorbachev now.
I thought you already named it something.
No, it's my name's Plato.
The
Archimedes is
Archimedes.
Army.
Yeah. All right.
Fired Gorbachev and took down that wall. That's a stupid name for a gun. Gorbachev.
Yeah, don't bother. They're recovering.
You know what?
You just
Actually,
blast into them.
That would make sense, because if these armors get passed down over and over and over and over again, and I've named it Archimedes because it's the one that tells the story of Plato, which is where the name came from when it was in Lone Star or whatever. This thing's been fried. Like, it's going to have to be completely rebuilt. This armor won't even be the same anymore. I might rename it to Gorbachev then. Yeah. That's a stupid name for an armor.
If you're shooting one at these people, you have to go down to 90 shots.
Mark off another ammo. Again, you're floored and hit the ground. Shani doesn't look like she's weathering this as good as you. Like, I mean, she's in her magical armor, but it's not as tough. She hits her tattoo. She sprouts her wings, and she's like, "We've got to go." As you just blasted 3 or 4 gargoyles into nothingness and took down the next room, collapses in on itself, blasting this heavy. You also loosened up more of the room. So, like, the room was this, and then he blew out the side over here, so it was kind of like this. Then you shot, and then this slid off. Now you shot again, and more rubble comes off. So you're just shaking this room off the side of the mountain, essentially, and making a hole in it.
This is a cool way to die.
She, just kind of picks you up around the waist of your power armor. Her arm, barely goes around the torso, but she's picking you up with ease. And she, reaches out for your hand. You pull up stakes and jump off the side of the mountain. And it's free fall for a bit as you're heading down, and her wings are trying to do their job, and she's holding you and straining and trying to keep grasp of you. You got your arm locked in around her, but eventually her wings can set in and just start to glide you out over the forest and down the mountainside. Both of you looking back up at these gargoyles just circling like this smoldering hole in the side of the mountain, and wondering if they're gonna be following you now.
We killed their boss.
Mm-hmm. It is nighttime, but they do have infravision.
Me too, sort of.
Yes. Your full sensor suite. So, that's bad. You guys end up down in the forest. You don't know if you're being chased. She is completely exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
She touches down on the ground like she's coming down through the trees. You smash a couple trees. She just has to kind of drop you once you start dragging, and you kind of do a little, because you're being kind of held backwards and looking up, and you do a little tumble and get up, and then she hits the ground with you with a thud, and you dig into the ground, and she just passes out. She is completely fatigued out, no magic left, so she is unconscious.
Or do we have cover, at least?
You are in a forest. Yeah, you're in the forests of... what did we say?
I don't know what you said.
Missouri, Arkansas. What's the Castle Refuge is in the Ozarks,
yes.
So it's the
northern tip of Arkansas.
So is it evergreens there? So it's redwoods or evergreens?
I don't think there's any redwoods in Arkansas off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly an evergreen forest.
Okay. So yeah, you're in the evergreens of Arkansas and the Ozarks.
It's called the Everglades.
Now,
I'm just kidding. That's in Florida.
There's a couple from your landing point, you took out a couple trees, so if you stay nearby too long, it's kind of like an obvious, obviously something landed right there, something tracked you. And then also you're dealing with things with infravision, mm-hmm. So if they can get close enough, they'll sense your heat. So you may not want to just stick around this close to the mountainside.
It makes sense that if you can grab her, you can carry her, and I can keep watch or whatever.
Oh yeah, and she her armor comes off, all of that stuff.
Done.
She is just she is just an Atlantean right now.
Great.
Break time. Give me another. We'll take 5 as they figure out what they're going to do.
Am I still just ear ringing and all that crap though?
No, everything's recalibrated. I should sit down for this since I'm explaining things. So, the dampeners are good enough. They're you're not in a happy place. I'm going to give you a level of fatigue, just to kind of you have a headache, your ears are ringing, all that kind of stuff, but it's not so bad that, you have to pass out type thing. It's just, it's been a long day. It's been a long day of heroing.
It has.
No, he's coming. Do. Yep. All right.
Oh, someone got me a beer.
Yeah. You have any questions about the current situation?
No, I think I got a pretty good handle on it.
Okay.
Gotta tell Deyton a good job when we get back to him. He fucking held off that onslaught while I repaired my gun for a long number of turns.
Yep.
That was pretty crazy. Like right after I rolled my damage, I was like, "Fuck! I don't even think it's been hours and hours since I've like done anything."
I mean, it was basically the last thing you did was shoot the reactor and the gargoyle in front of it. Then you escaped and had to get in and repair your gun to shoot the Gargoyle Lord.
So your YouTube channel is under Karmic Cycle also, right?
It is Karmic Cycle. Wileyverse is my Twitch channel, and Karmic Cycle is my...
That's what it's okay.
I need to align the brands.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to...
But...
I think we talked about it a couple times ago where I wanted to watch like 1, 2, and 3 again.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the very beginning, but you don't have those on the Twitch anymore.
No, they're gone. Yeah, they're gone off the Twitch.
That's something I didn't know because you guys have talked about it before, and I was like, where do I find it? So I'm going to have to look that up when I get home.
So, if you don't know, and you want to catch up on this entire series, it's all on my YouTube channel, which I will eventually link down here. But it's YouTube Karmic Cycle, KARMIC CYCLE, all one word. You can see the entire series of where they begin with Ignatius. Poor Iggy.
It's the brightest that burn the fastest.
That's what happens when you burn from both ends.
Good job, by the way. I was just telling him for that whole last session was basically you holding off a fucking gargoyle
waves of gargoyles.
Well, I'm like, I continue repairing my gun.
Just in my
like, oh my god, plant more grenades, fire again, Jesus Christ!
In my head, it was just the theme song from the Hawkman scene in Flash Gordon, like as the gargoyles coming, second wave, dive, and you're like, more flying.
You're over there fixing your gun. Shani's over there just like, I can't really do anything unless they come in.
Right. Can't do anything. Well, she had. She could have shot. But the moment she did that, you guys weren't escaping. You guys were. The moment she had to use any of her magic.
I love your no hard feelings. You're just over there fixing your gun. Like, I need to fix it.
The moment she used any of her magic, you guys were not flying out of there. You would have had to gone through it.
Yeah.
So
kudos.
I mean,
I should have wanted the chance to use a rope and like tie it to something. Just going later down the hill.
Repel a little bit. Fire the gun. He would have died. The one time he's the rope, you're dead.
So you have
the fucking rope.
You're in a forest, an evergreen forest on the side of an Ozark mountain with a bunch of angry gargoyles and an unconscious Atlantean.
Picking up Shani.
Now, it's nothing. You just pick her up, lock your arms, and you're nothing wrong. Ooh.
Let's move.
Scratch one Lord of Darkness.
Yeah.
You've killed a Gargoyle Lord and a Gargoyle Magus.
You're a
I want to say we should move at least a good 100 yards away from this spot.
I say we put the distance that we are from the castle away from us right now, too. And then I think we should, like, they're going to be able to identify us when we're out of our armor versus being in it anyway, right?
And you're all enemies to them.
Oh, yeah,
like, who are you talking about? Like,
I meant the gargoyles. Like, when they start looking for us, like, getting out of my... Like, powering down isn't going to reduce heat signature or anything.
No, I mean, you are going to be as hot as a human, and they can see that.
All right.
You could power your armor down and put it someplace safe and retrieve it later if you want to do that, but I wouldn't.
Don't.
Again, also right now, you don't want to shoot your gun again. It got hit by rocks.
No, I know what happened.
If you go north, you will go back to the mines and the reservoir.
That place that we blew up earlier.
It's already been blown up, but there's a communication relay there. But they didn't have a huge... Castle Refuge didn't station it with a bunch of units or anything. They weren't trying to take that back. They were just content with having destroyed the mines They reinstated the communication, so you don't even know if that's still up or not. Otherwise, you could go in any other direction and then be safe, but you really kind of want to go south.
I want to head back to Castle
West,
Refuge.
which is Castle Refuge.
So I think we should just make our way that way.
It is also the most obvious way for you to go if the gargoyles are tracking you. I'm just throwing. I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, like, you got to get home somehow and sometime. I'm just saying, like, you attack them. They know who you are. They know that you're going to try to be getting back.
Let's put an hour travel between us, and then I can start.
Do they know who we are?
Yeah, because remember, you got reported when you were down inside, and Krollvag was on the radio with the other gargoyles talking about they killed your mate. His mate, so he wanted his shot at you.
Why don't let's make an hour's trek and then let's assess. Like, let's give her a chance to recover. Let me look at the gun. I hate getting out of this thing again and like telling you what to do, but like I can't fire this thing because it's killing you. It's killing you inside. So as soon as you were like, stuff falls on the gun, I was like, fuck,
right,
everything. God damn it.
I really am glad, and my heart goes out to you as a GM for putting that knife in, because it stops everything from being boom, 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 I shoot it with my boom gun, and I shoot it with my boom gun, and I shoot it with my boom gun. I can kind of force the times when it's thematically appropriate, and then I can let you just have free reign when it's open season. So thank you for that. It's really great.
You're totally welcome. God damn.
I don't know, like,
how do you feel about that
thing? But I accidentally made a dragon character for Robert's game. So my buddy Robert, you know Robert? Yeah. I accidentally made a dragon character in his D&D game. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to start from humble beginnings and all this stuff." And like we have this halfling rogue who's just like a con man and kind of angry at the world, and he's just getting his start. And then there's this warlock who just got like bound to this cursed book and is getting like doesn't even want to be a warlock, but this thing is giving her his powers, like these like really thing. I'm like, oh, I made a character for your game, and I sent him a link, and it was broken. It was to the Dungeons and Dragons site, and when you go to the Dungeons and Dragons site and it's a broken link, it's a picture of a dragon, and it says 403 forbidden. If you're trying to access something and he's like, this is what I see, and he showed me the picture, and he's like, are you actually trying to play a dragon? And I'm like, yep. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play a dragon. It's not Mary Sue or anything. It's got its drawbacks. And then I started talking about this dragon.
Forbidden is a mistranslation.
A mistranslation from Zabranjan is her actual name. She's agoraphobic. She doesn't know about people and this and that. And then it kept going and kept going and kept going. And he's like, so that's kind of awesome. Do you actually want to play the game? So I'm like, shit, like, I made a dragon. So after an hour's worth of you trekking through the woods, do you have anything to add to the plan?
No, we decided to go the obvious way, though.
You're heading back home. Like,
maybe not even go southwest. We just cut off a little bit, but we got to head that way.
Yeah, I mean, like,
just head south.
The shortest.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, south would like. That's back towards where like the Splugorth and all like, that shit happened. I don't know if you want to go directly that, but you know what?
It's obvious, right?
Like
run towards the Splugorth.
Just getting like it might be your best bet is just the shortest route back to a town or a village or something that's loyal.
The idea would be just to run for an hour and then chill.
Yeah.
We need to see what Shani's doing, and I got to work on my gun.
Bigger checks.
Damn it.
With Wild?
Yep.
Oh wait, my vigor's pretty good
7.
with this guy. Yeah.
Okay. With your fatigue does count on this.
Shit, I forgot. So 6. So I forgot that you gave me fatigue.
13 minus 1, 12.
Okay. So you guys, your adrenaline has turned into endorphin. Like
you have 2 minus 1?
Oh, sorry, it's 11. Right.
Yeah, it's fine. Your adrenaline has turned into endorphin.
You're on my team.
You broke through the wall. Like you're still like high alert. You're still good. You're not losing any fatigue, obviously, because you're still moving and doing all this stuff. But you don't gain any more. So you've moved for an hour. Your systems are rebooted and reinitialized.
Shani's still passed out.
Shani is still passed out. But you know that with an hour, she's got at least some PPE back in her, and she hasn't been moving, so she should be recovering from her fatigue soon. So you can try...
Does she have PPE back in her, or just PP? Because
PPE.
She was passed out, and I could have done some things.
PPE.
So now she has some PPE.
Does she have PP in you? No. No, she has no PP in her. Stop with the red rocket, okay? I thought you were...
She looks like she needs some lipstick.
I thought your character was gay for Toto, though.
He's just a really good friend.
Just a really good friend.
Just like I tell my wife, we just go hang out in my
That
friend's room.
that would be an awesome shipping, though. Is the Saint Bernard with the Cairn Terrier. Like, oh, a cuddle. That would be great.
Like, why am I always the big spoon?
Also, furs. Yeah. Could you imagine, like, the Cairn Terrier, like, I want to be the big spoon sometime.
Like, okay, it's really cold out here.
Moving on.
So,
you're like, enough about me.
You can...
No buts.
No buts. No, this involves a significant butt. You can try to rouse her if you would like.
I think we should let her sleep for now. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think the two of us together, at least if we have to, we can rouse her.
I mean, as she's passed out, she is technically getting rest, right?
Yeah, she is getting rest.
So,
she is getting PPE back. So
obviously, I would just lay her or sit her behind a tree just in case there's anything. So it doesn't.
So lay her down. You
point,
find a nice covered
fix your shit
spot.
Yeah.
Fix your shit.
Yeah.
So make your.
Like you're so mad about it. Fucking make it work then. Like, it's fucking expensive power over.
Well, I guess actually before he hops out to fix his crap, masks down. Let me take a notice.
Take a sniff. All right, do it.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Just make sure there's nothing in the vicinity.
I try so hard in my suit to be like.
Just a -1 from the fatigue.
With my +2,
+2,
so just a +1.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. That's how
you roll.
That's how you notice. That's how you notice.
So 14 plus 1, 15.
There is some lingering trace of something through here. It doesn't have distinctive gargoyle smell. It looks like it might be just like a natural critter or some, DB creature animal that might have just been passing through here. It's hours old. Other than that, it's clear skies, pretty clear night.
Fix your shit.
Every time you describe something vaguely like that, I'm reminded of our what was the one? It's a desert planet where I was a bug. What was it?
Dark Sun.
Dark Suns, where we ended up in that cave. And the only person that didn't go insane was Brawl because we were getting psycho drugs in our brains. So what the hell? Every time you're like, you smell a creature, but it's gone. I'm like, I don't know about this.
There's just a lot of supernatural stuff out in the wilderness.
No, totally.
So,
all right.
Seems clear enough that you can hop out and start repairing.
It's a displacer beast jumps on you.
Christ.
Oh, Christ.
Fucking me.
You got a 5?
What'd you get?
Well, I'm wounded and fatigued, so I ended up with a 3. So.
You check your background stuff. You might have bonuses to repair.
Plus another D10 or D8 for mine.
For what?
Yeah. I get another plus die type to repair skill.
No, that just increased your die type for the skill.
Oh, so just then add 3 or 4 to it. You mean to roll a D10 instead?
No. It's already incorporated.
Okay.
It's already what's on your sheet. We already did that.
Oh, okay.
That was during character
yes.
creation. So you don't have any other pluses.
I do get a +1 to repair, though.
Oh, there you go. So it's a 4.
4. Perfect.
So
success.
It's enough.
Slightly after spending a penny to repair my
It's enough, but it's going to take, for you to feel comfortable...
No, I'd be pretty panicked about that.
Yeah, for you to feel comfortable with this, you think you're going to have to put an hour into it, or you're going to want to just not use the gun.
No.
So it's either sit here for an hour, let him rest, let Shani rest, or after about 10 minutes of your assessment, you go, I'm just not going to use my gun and move on.
I'm doing the hour, but don't rest. Pay attention.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
well, I was going to ask.
He's not actively taking anything.
I have to spend that hour. I can't.
I don't know if I've asked this before because I do have the repair skill. Am I allowed to help him, or does his dagger / knife? Will he be like,
he'll take
no,
help.
Oh, yeah.
Don't touch my stuff?
He'll let technicians completely repair his glitter boy as long as he does the final inspection to make sure everything's right. So yeah, you can absolutely help.
Yeah, like when we get home, I'll go take a nap and come back and just do the checklist.
Yeah. He's not going to rebuild and re-chromium his entire glitter boy.
So,
go ahead.
Attempt to help his repair here.
Oh,
get a couple raises.
Hey, I just got a 4.
All right, that's a +1.
It's okay.
So it'll take it down to 50 minutes, but
50 minutes. All right. It gives us some time to talk. Like, hey, tell me about your bitch. Your mom.
Anything you guys want to do specifically, like talk about anything you want to do about the perimeter, or what you're doing to watch. Are you keeping your helmet cracked to keeping a nose out on everything?
Yeah, I'll keep my helmet cracked because honestly, at this point, I believe more in my senses than I do the armor. I just had it.
Plus, if he's got his
black out on me, and that freaks me out.
Yeah.
Plus, if he has his armor on, then he can kind of just hold some stuff up for me while I get in a little easier, which might just alleviate my stress about it, and he can still watch. So nothing specific there. I think a lot of it would too, because of what I'm doing, I probably wouldn't have a whole lot of time to ask him like personal questions. What he's doing would be more like explaining what I'm doing. Like, listen, you need to hold this piece so I can get in at the Splugorth resistor.
Splugorth resistor, huh?
The communication recyclers.
Communication recyclers.
It's deep in his shoulder.
The communication recyclers.
Damn it, it's bent.
You recover your fatigue in the hour. You do not, because you're taking other activity.
Like these things are like a perfect DNA sample of us. They're covered in our spit and oils from our fingers. And
we never need to try.
You're like, no.
Never need to track it down. Make a notice check while you're doing all this.
It's not how you notice things.
4. Fuck
plus
you.
Your tracker
plus
stuff.
2.
Plus 2,
Yeah.
6.
Plus 6.
Don't worry about that one.
That little guy right there. Don't worry about that guy.
He's like, does I ticket? You
man, if you run into I ticket, and like they do send out parties this far, but
does I ticket that you angered way earlier in the game?
Yeah.
I would really have to be angry at you to like
storm up upon you like, what the hell? Can we ever get away from these guys? We went through a portal.
It's like, make a notice check. Can you stop shuffling until after I make my notice check? Yeah.
So it is a gibbous moon out tonight. You know what that term means now? Or did you already forget?
You've probably mentioned it the other night, but I wasn't.
So when you have a crescent in shape like this, a gibbous is anything round that's not a perfect.
Right.
So when it's waxing, it's getting bigger. When it's waning, it's getting smaller. So waning gibbous or waxing gibbous would be like anything. So
it's new, which is nothing. Crescent, half. Gibbous, full. So gibbous is the anything past half.
And then it'll go backwards as well.
Yep.
It'll wax back to gibbous.
Waxing, waning. Waxing,
it'll wane
waning.
back to gibbous and then end up being
but that's why, like, this
crescent.
guy fucking, like, I look up at the night sky and I'm like, damn, that's full moon tonight. And he's like, no, it doesn't look full. I'm like, oh, so it's gibbous? And he's like, I don't know what that means. So I sent him a message like, of the moon that night. Guess what the moon was?
It was a waxing gibbous.
99.6%.
Oh, you were off by like 3 days.
It was 96% full. That's what it was. It was 96%.
You're off by 3 days.
How fucking accurate. Like, he's like, I'm like, oh, that's full. And he's like,
nope.
No, this is
not quite.
Not quite. Not quite. No. I'm like how you could spot it, but you couldn't name that what it was.
It's like you have to be a subreddit accidental hawking. Not quite.
96%. That's a solid. That's a solid 95, 96% right there.
My theory is that it is not full.
So, You going along, you're helping him, you're keeping an eye out, you're having an eye to the sky. When you think, like, as the moon, and it's been a long night. I mean, it was already night when you got out from the reactor blowing up. You've been an hour down, an hour out type stuff. And it's getting that kind of like harvest moon down towards the mountains. When you think you see some things cross the threshold of the moon visually, it could just be some night flyers, it could just be some whatever. It could also be gargoyles on the prowl that aren't very good at their jobs.
Like, how close do they seem?
They looked pretty small in comparison, so like they'd be pretty far off, but they could also just be that high up, which means they have good view of the land and any movement or shininess. You could, I mean, it doesn't seem imminent. You're not smelling anything, but there's that movement that just like something's not sitting right with you.
How far are we into his repair?
This is just at the end. Like, he's just finishing up, locking up, putting the cowling back on the side of the gun, hooking back up the optics. So he's in the last 2-3 minutes of his repair. But this kind of determines, like, do you let him go for another hour? Do you rest for another hour? Do you move another hour and rest? Or do you just try to push? Like, what's the next leg?
Well, I would say if you're done with your thing, hop back in.
Let's move for an hour.
We need to move again.
Let's do 2 hours.
Because I just saw something. Wasn't exactly close. Couldn't tell exactly what it was, but we don't really want to be encountered by anything right now.
Are you describing your mom?
Something
weird. Wasn't that close, but I want to get away from it. I can't tell what it is. Yeah.
What's the Armageddon joke? What? Can I name it after my wife?
Yeah, right.
It's a inescapable disaster that there is no, like, I can't remember what he says.
Yeah,
it's a
I know what you're talking about
quote.
though, yeah.
Anyway, so I say that to him.
Alright, so we're
gonna move.
Shani, like, when you go to, like, do you want to wake her up or do you want to, like, pick her up?
I'll go to pick her up again.
Okay, she kind of, like, comes to when you go to pick her up.
She's not like a shit Aryan, right? She's not gonna try to kill me now?
No.
Good.
She's, like, once she sees your dog face coming through that armor, she's like, oh, we made it.
She's like, hey, let's quit drooling.
Do you... She is completely okay with you continuing to carry her if you want.
Well, she's awake. She can walk her damn self.
You guys are in power armor.
I can carry her this time if I'm moving.
Yeah. You guys don't have... Like, you lost your vehicles, but...
I'll carry her this time.
They were just all terrains. Yeah.
It's my turn.
You could just lock your arm like... You could just lock your arm like this and she just hammocks in there. So... Because, like, the great thing, one of the things you find about it is that to resist fatigue and all that stuff, the power armor, you can just set to run and, like, you just kind of guide it and your legs aren't really doing the pushing. So it's fantastic for that. Except for if you're already fatigued, it doesn't help you rest at all. So you're running for how long this time?
So we might as well double it.
Yeah, let's go a couple hours. Like, Shani's at least, like, awake. She is at least semi-rested. I don't know how rested she is, but...
My gun seems operable, so if we got to stop, we can stop.
Okay.
It's operable, yeah.
That's about it, though.
I'm no longer fatigued, so...
You said...
We'll go a couple hours.
All right. So about hour 15, hour 20 minutes in, your GPS comes up, like, bink, and it's hitting off a tower. And you're starting, like, it brings up a map, and now you're locked into where you actually are, because GPS isn't done by satellites anymore. There's nothing out in orbit. So it has to have ground things to lock onto. So once it gets a signal, it pops up, a map comes up, a town comes up, and you are close to a settlement that is loyal to, well, allied with Castle Refuge.
Part of me doesn't want to bring the heat on them.
The heat might already come down on them.
It's true.
You know, at least warn them. And
you're within everything up.
Like you're within the 500-mile range of your communication suite, so you could just start calling out to the town if they're advanced enough. They may have a communication.
500 miles.
Yeah, 500 miles is one of the longest communication suites out there. I think it's on your little paper that you have over there.
I don't think I put it in this.
Is it on that one?
That sheet you have up there?
Oh.
Your armor.
That's right.
The glitter boy!
Full electronic suite. Ooh, we've been ignoring the technical difficulties setting rule.
No, we haven't.
No.
You haven't rolled double ones.
Oh. 500 miles. Jesus Christ.
There it is, yeah.
Because we have a dedicated relay now. Yeah, so
as with all power armor, the Glitter Boy has advanced communications, 20-mile range, 500 miles with access to a dedicated relay system, which you just got.
Up to, yeah.
So you could also just use the relay to talk straight to Castle Refuge. You don't have to talk to the town.
That would definitely be the first thing I would do, would be to check in with Castle Refuge. Just let them know that we've done it. Not that we've done it. We lost the shifter.
Basically skinny everything that we know.
Yeah, we lost the shifter, but we blew up the castle.
You call in military speak your mission.
We know where this shifter's lair is. We know that there's a Spurgorth army out in the world now. Because I don't think we've told them that yet.
No, you haven't been back since your mission to come out here.
And obviously everything with the Gargoyle Lord and blah, blah, blah.
Do. Two of these. Why indeed. Alright, so L of Owls will, after you get through and you call out your mission ID and personal IDs and all that, L of Owls herself comes on the line, and you give your mission report. She wants to keep it. She basically just says, "Give us minimum details. We don't know if communication lines are safe or secure." So you give just the bare bones. And then she tells you to make way for the nearest settlement, the settlement that you have nearby, that Dame Coda is currently stationed there. Coda being the Cybernite that you ran with when you first got here.
Disregard. Let's just head for Castle Refuge. I'm just kidding. Ignore boss.
Something smells fishy here.
I'm a little curious if we want to talk about minimal details, but we'll name the town that we're going to go stay at. That seems, if someone is listening.
She didn't name it.
Okay.
She said
go to the nearest.
Go to nearest outpost.
I said, don't name it.
Yeah.
Well, we are ignoring some of this stuff from this.
What else?
When the target systems are on, they offset 2 points of shooting penalties.
Yep. That's some of the stuff I was talking about. Since you've gotten the gun damaged, you ignored that.
Absolutely. I should have +2 on all notice checks when my stuff is all up and running. Yeah,
all your sensor suite.
Get out of the armor once in a while. The Glitter Boy pilot can serve well as a skilled and utilitarian member of the team when there's more than combat at hand.
It's true. You've got a lot of skills.
No, I'm friendly, but we've been in the field for so long.
Oh yeah. All right, so you're heading to the settlement?
I guess so.
By the time you get there, the settlement's already waiting for you, essentially. You see it's on high alert. They've got guards posted. This is a settlement that's got some outlying farm community. The farms are all dark and nothing going on there. But once you get up to the town proper, there's a wall. There's people on the walls. Looks like they have a tank set up in the middle of town. Older, probably pre-riffs that's been recommissioned, and that's their big defense, especially since the Broadkill are out in numbers. It's probably the only real good defense they have against big things. But there are people in power armors. There are people with MDC armor with good guns. There are perimeter and all that stuff. The moment you get within range, they do the challenge, Castle Refuge challenge retort to you, and then just lead you right in. This is kind of wartime, small village in the countryside. People are up. There's guards. There's spotters waiting and ready to go, while this tiny, sleepy little farm town is trying to go on with their normal everyday lives while this war rages around them. But Coda meets you. She walks up, does the hand clasp to you, looks up at you.
Makes a lion sound.
She's some type of DB, if you remember, but she's like a kind of satyr looking. She's
Satyrus fawn.
Yeah, she's a fawn.
Yeah.
Draenei looking kind of horns and switchback legs in her Cyber Knight armor. She looks up at you and it's that look of shock of holy crap, what could do this to a glitter boy, and
me
and awe that
I can do
this is what can
boy.
happen to a glitter boy and they still come back, kind of a thing. Just the admiration is there. Obviously, the Cyber Knights and the glitter boys go hand in hand in the history of saving humanity from the rifts.
Do you have any silver spray paint?
She ushers you in, you'd have to get out of your glitter boy. Ushers you into a command post. Kind of just know you must be exhausted, this and that. So
I'm also wounded.
Yeah. So medics come in, help treat that. She gives you just a quick rundown of the current situation. The Broadkill had been pressing pretty heavily up until last night, when normally raids would occur during the night because that's what they do. They're cowards and use their invisibility and all that stuff. But nothing has happened, seemingly coinciding with the earthquake that was caused earlier in the day, earlier in the evening, that they now correlate with when you blew the reactor.
He did it, I didn't do it. All right.
But yeah, all Broadkill activity has ceased so far, so the shifter is probably relocating, and the Broadkill, being his real now that you've taken out the Lord, Gargoyle Lord, his mines, most of his forces, the Broad Killer, his mainstay force, he's pulling them back to rally. So, she can commend you on your efforts. A decisive strike against the enemy. Finally put them on their heels. But Elevals would like you to head back to Castle Refuge at first opportunity, so you can be rested. What's it called? Debriefed.
Okay.
Rested, debriefed. Get repairs and.
I'm not even wearing any underwear.
You can't pants me. I'm not wearing pants. Wait, you're not wearing. Oh, come on, man. You're just in your armor, like just a t-shirt.
Come out of there. You asked for it.
Feast your eyes.
Wife beater in a thong. Yeah. James always wears just a thong. So are there people here that can work on the armor while I'm sleeping? Not really. No.
Honeycomb's here. He can work on it.
He's not small.
He's pretty good with a wrench.
Sweet. I mean, I would probably rest.
Yeah, I feel like
it's pretty much like
we should rest here for the night for sure, and then we'll head back to Castle Refuge.
Pretty much, it's 4 hours of sleep till daylight, and you kind of like naturally wake up, especially with everything you're coming off of. You crashed hard, but it's also that still in danger. That
electric sleeplessness.
You wake up. Coda says that a couple of gargoyles were scouting out the town. She sent up Honeycomb, and they fucked right off. Like, didn't stick around at all. So it seems that they're definitely thinking twice about their frontal assaults right now.
Honeycomb that's a power armor, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. He's in that Titan Predator power armor.
Alright, so...
Yep. They'll load you up in a truck and drive you back to Castle Refuge. So you can clear your wounds, clear your fatigue.
Oh, I did that already.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it was like last night. Nothing's happening. So you get back to Castle Refuge. When people see you, they cheer and
give him the middle finger.
This means peace among worlds.
I don't think that's right.
They give you, people cheer, give you like pats on the back, welcome you back. Good job, this, that, and you're taken right into Elevals and Bob, Cyborg Bob, chewing on his bolt. Your glitter boy's obviously taken to the yard to start getting work done on it. Your power armor is taken down. Dwarves will start working on that.
It's 4 times on that sortie that I wasn't able to fire. Like, I had to stop and get out and play with it. Although I've only fired 10 shots.
And you are refilled now, so...
That's what she said.
But this is the full skinny, unless you want to leave anything out. Are you telling them everything's of everything?
I don't think there's anything to not tell them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you want to leave out or change how you talk about it or whatever. Like, you guys don't seem that unscrupulous to me, so... But I just want to give you the option.
No.
Full skinny. Mission report.
Tell me about that part where I woke up and you were spooning me. Here, that part. Leave that part out.
Elevals and Bob both pretty specific, and they dive deep on what you saw up in that fortress. Like, were there any slaves like there was down in the mines? Was there any other units operating? Did you get any pings or radio from anything else up there?
We didn't see any slaves up there.
Nothing. Yeah.
Obviously,
and even like you were down where they probably have slaves.
Yeah, and obviously everything was powered by some sort of magical techno device. So that's what melted my reflective armor.
So after like a good 10 minutes of them having you repeat over and over that you saw no other innocents or civilians or slaves or anything up there, Elle nods to Bob. Bob walks off.
They're going to tear up 2 infection cards.
Yeah. And then you continue with your report, but you hear and they send 2 ballistic missiles to go finish off the shifter tower.
That might have been 1 missile too many. We beat it up pretty bad.
It was beat it up pretty bad, but
just better safe than sorry.
Yeah, as they say at the end, like
it is a fortress too, so like it's not like it's just like.
Also, this has happened before, so it makes sense to get it done.
They don't have many ballistics here, but when you find the headquarters of your adversary, especially when that adversary is a magic user, because as you had told him at the beginning of the report, he was farming rifts.
Yeah.
He had to keep those things somewhere, and he had to keep those things somewhere where he had containment already built. He can't just move that. So he may have left, but if they can destroy that, that may take out some of his backlog of demons
or
and
at least
creatures.
Keep them coming back right there.
Right. So, yeah, they blow up the side of the mountain with 2 of their ballistic arsenal. That's a huge victory for them, and now... But unfortunately, they still don't know where the shifter is, and he is still in command of at least a Broadkill army.
That's your fault.
You guys all decided not to
no,
go up. Decided to stay down in the bowels of the place and not go up and confront the shifter himself. But you did good. I'm saying you did strategically very good.
Took out a Gargoyle Lord,
yep.
Shit.
That's pretty much you take out his mines, you took out most of his people.
Yeah.
The shifter's main manufacturing hub to support his gargoyles and his broadkill is gone. Then you took out the leader of the gargoyles. You pretty much wiped the gargoyles out of the fight. There may be a dozen or so left that would still stay, but they're going to stay loyal to this fucking shifter who got everyone killed and couldn't protect them. So, that's great. They also tell you that the Sumerian Lord arrived in the castle the previous day.
They have a big helmet on.
She had the 6 antennae. It was the Lord on the last mount remaining. Apparently she is the last of the war party that came out here, the scouting party that came out here. They engaged the Splugorth.
Dumbasses.
They hate the Splugorth. They have a huge rivalry with them. But what they did was they...
I'm a bigger dick. No, you're a bigger dick. I'm a bigger dick.
They drew the Splugorth over to where they knew Broadkill were, attacked both sides, and now both sides are fighting each other. Which is good, because that stops them from aligning and just trading out gargoyles for Splugorth. But Splugorth are still not your friends. They're still out there, so now everyone knows there's another faction in the area that they have to deal with.
So she's the only survivor?
She was the only survivor. She was the last Shamarian left.
We can finish her off.
In her sleep.
Full stealth.
You're all, what kind of grenades do I have?
So, you guys congratulated. Medals will come at another time. Rest, relax. We're going to take care of your armor. We're going to take care of your resupply. Don't worry about anything. Come to us when you feel you're ready to get back into it. Because they're like, you've been through a lot.
You need a haircut.
Probably need a grooming for sure.
Gotta clip those nails down.
Oh, I got some knots in my tail.
Accidentally cut the quick.
Can you cut the poop off my tail? It's like a normal thing. You're like, I'll be right back. You gotta go see a special barber. It's like all barbers sign up. It's like no dog boys.
No dog boys.
Like, how much is a haircut? $10? No, motherfucker.
Get out of here.
Yeah, God, your whole body
$60.
is haired. Yeah.
It says barbershop, not grooming.
Yeah, right. Dude, it was so long.
And they fluff you all up and put a bow in your hair and everything. Cool.
You get in a tanning bed, but it's all steam. You get like a body perm. You're so curly.
So, you guys are left to your own devices for as long as you kind of wish. The castle is in high alert mode. This is the first time you've been at the castle where it's been under siege. Like, it's in war mode.
Well, I would assume I would have some sort of duty, wouldn't I? Some sort of role.
You normally do, but you've been assigned with him, and you just went on a insane special mission. So they've kind of given you, hands off. Just you come to us when you're ready to go back.
I would
to work.
think you would probably go check on your shit to make sure everything's
obvious.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you go and
get some steak fingers.
But watch the repairs of your glitter boy every step of the way.
You like steak fingers too?
What?
They actually they have a couple new Quebecian technicians that work on the glitter boys here, along with the dwarves, who the new Quebecian technicians are training or apprenticing. So yeah, they're going to town on your armor, fixing it all up. Also now, if you're looking for upgrades, if you're looking for new guns, new armaments, new gear, now's the time to kind of seek that out.
Smoke blasters.
You want some smoke launchers?
Yeah. No, I won't use them for anything. It'll just be me being like, next time.
No, you sure? No smoke launchers?
No obscuring area smoke?
Give me the smoke launchers.
Well, they said they resupply us. Don't worry about it. Does that mean I just don't have to spend money on resupplies?
Correct.
That also means they're not giving us any new money.
They are giving you new money.
Oh.
They're giving you new. You can ask for new gear if you want, but all of your normal amounts of gear are given back to you. And if you want more, you can. If you want smoke launchers and the camo netting.
No, the camo netting's not going to fit with my character.
Okay. So, smoke launchers.
Smoke launchers for sure.
Shoulders or thighs?
Let's do thighs. Everything's on top.
Okay,
so boys all topped up, yeah.
You've got two just packs right here. They have 6 smoke each. Oh, sorry, 6 smoke total. 3 smoke each. They are whatever you want them to be. Do you want them to be plain smoke? Do you want them to be thermal IR? Do you want them to be thermal IR bio for magical? But if you shoot off thermal IR, it also blocks yours.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. It would just regularly be smoke.
Okay.
It would basically be like what Iggy had, I think, because I wouldn't. I mean,
you're pretty much just trying to use it to put a disadvantage of things that don't have.
Yeah, like if we're gonna fight some gargoyles hand to hand, I could at least smoke the place. And then
well, they have infra, so they'd still see you. Yeah. Well, but you could do it against like Broadkill.
Yeah,
maybe they may have.
It would just make things tougher for Shani. I'm scary. I'm like, -2.
But it would like affect it. Like if you were to fight coalition and things like that,
totally,
like, all that stuff. So just regular smoke.
Regular smoke's fine.
Right. What do you want?
I mean, I refilled my railgun and my main gun, but like I don't have a set number of grenades. Like
pretty much your grenades. Let's say
like I have 3 AP right now, 40. 9 frag, and 6 plasma. I'm out of high explosive and my bricks of C20.
Top them all out at 40.
So you have frag, AP,
plasma, high explosive.
So let's call standard for you 12 high explosive, 12 AP, 12 frag, and 6 plasma. That is now your standard kit.
Okay. 2 more bricks of C20 then?
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Started with 2. Might as well fucking 2 more.
If you want to take a demolitions kit, it'll be more than that.
A what?
A demolitions kit.
Have we mentioned demolitions kit to you yet?
I didn't hear the word demolitions. I heard like militions kit.
Militions kit.
It's like, what the fuck is that? What's entailed in demolitions?
It's pretty much it's just like a backpack, full backpack of everything you need to do to make demolitions.
Ability to make grenade stick.
It does have the stuff to make grenade stick. Like you can essentially have putty that you could put a grenade in and throw and it would stick.
Should I just write this as a gear like demo?
Yes, demolitions kit. It also has foam-based C12.
Ooh, you can be like Batman.
It is not explosive. It doesn't blow things up. It just melts through things. But it's like, you get like a small fire extinguisher can that you can just the foam up that allow you to breach doors, burn through walls, depending on thickness. 4 bricks of C20. Every type of detonator under the sun, including like 100 meters of det cord, maybe even more, since it's so tiny and thin. With plungers and all that kind of stuff. You have radio ones, you have timers, you have
tripwires.
Mm-hmm.
Thermal.
You can make tripwires. You can rig up even grenades to tripwire with the sticky. So it's a full kit for a demolitionist operative. This isn't just someone to go in and detonate a building. This is for a military application person to go in and sabotage, destroy, breach, all that kind of stuff. Now that you have that, warning you, it's in a backpack that's armor lined, but you are now carrying a whole bunch of explosives on your back.
So don't stand near me when I shoot. If I roll a 1, not even, you're gone. Like liquefied.
Yeah, it would just be like, because it's on your back, even in your power armor. That all that stuff blasting would just be like, oh no, there's Beethoven drooling out of his armor.
Make a new character sheet.
So that's good, but I guess my other deal would be I'm pretty sure I have to keep the same power armor for now.
Yeah, you can keep that. It's worked so far for you, but now that
and I'm not gonna have near enough money to buy better one.
Not yet.
I still have about...
But they do continue to mod it out so it's more comfortable and fitted to you.
$500,000 to go.
Kind of yours.
That's like you said one, dude. The repairs are $500,000 on mine.
You keeping the railgun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they reload that for you.
Oh, yeah. That thing is bad.
They reload that for you and give you a reload for it to carry. Ooh. So you have the 20 shots that are in it and an extra 20 shots on side.
Boom. This is really nice, but this makes me wonder what's going to happen next. Because we're like,
hey, it's escalation.
No, I understand. I get it.
You went from a burster to a glitter boy.
I mean, we did just fight a frickin' Gargoyle Lord. I mean...
Yeah, really the only thing next is...
God, he was the easy part. Holding off gargoyles for 10 rounds was the tough part.
I mean, that's true, but I did go through a lot of my shit to do so. Yeah. That's why I like this replenish and like this whole 12 things. The only thing I've had double digit of this whole time was frag grenades because they're my least damaging, but they are a large blast.
Yep.
They did do work on that door though. When those stupid gargoyles blew them up, they killed themselves. Like, all right. Dum-dums.
You didn't trigger any of your own grenades.
No, I did not.
You just placed
them.
Everybody else did.
You just placed them. So, you have been at rest for a couple days. Your armors are fixed up. You're replenished. You're fed. You're groomed. You have a nice bow in your hair. You too, if you want one.
It's a blue bow.
It's a blue bow. I want a green one.
They're like, this fucking primavera. Prima donna.
Primavera.
This Italian food.
All right.
Let's go talk to Ella Viles and see what she has planned. Or she wants us to go.
Where does she want you to go? She's like, well, it's been pretty quiet on the front since since our attack, or your attack.
Stupid. Huh?
She's back. She does all the pleasantries.
No. She said it's been quiet on the front. I'm like, how about the back?
Oh, the back.
Yeah, and then you continue.
You're back. You're front. You're both here. Good. That's old.
You have the Muttley left.
Muttley. Oh, wow. And Olympics, or what was the...
Oh, the Wacky Olympics. No, that's not right.
What is it? So, and what was the main guy's name? It was Muttley and...
Dastardly.
Dirk
Dastardly?
Dastardly? I feel that's not right. Anyway, she comes back and says, the gargoyle presence is pretty much all but diminished. It's all but gone since
the Laugh Olympics.
The Laugh Olympics has all but subsided since you've taken out their forge and their lord and the castle. The Muttley laugh. Wow.
Blast from the past right there.
Wacky Races. Someone got it.
Yep. Wacky Races is the 2000 version remix.
Yeah, because there wasn't the Olympics were the Olympics one.
That's the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, and then the Wacky Races were their...
That was the car driving component of the Laugh Olympics, but they remade it for 2000 for Laugh Olympics. Or for Wacky Races.
What was the... So it was Scooby-Doo, but instead of Scooby-Doo, they had a Doom buggy.
Oh, that's right. And that I think that buggy had its own personality.
Yeah, it was alive. It was and like the guys, like even both dudes, like Fred and the other guy both had the scarves, I think. Blonde. Like, it was pretty much just a carbon copy, except for they traded out a dog for a dune buggy. So, she says, the gargoyle presence is all but gone. The Broadkill have pulled back and are making much more strategic strikes now. More calculated. They're trying to conserve their resources, obviously because they don't have this fortress and mine forge pumping things out anymore. So we just need to find where that shifter has relocated.
Okay.
Right now, all our forces, as stated before, they're spread thin, as we have to protect all of our allies and everyone that's made an agreement with us. We've got to keep those intact. We've got to keep people protected. The Broadkill are hitting things erratically, but hard. Much more precise in their attacks, and instead of just like the kill everything. So, we have some ideas. Obviously, the shifter isn't going to go too far away from sources of magic. Right now, the Splugorth have pretty much just poured over that area where we sent you before, the Devil Hills, where all of that magic was, so we don't think he's there. But there's a couple other spots that he may have fled to that are pretty high in magic. Would you go and check these out for us?
Gonna let us borrow some vehicles?
Obviously we
kind of lost
you
last
to, obviously we'll get you your vehicles again, and we'll.
You're gonna see all the other troops being like, "Who are these fucking guys?"
Well, they knew you.
Well, I know that. I figured about that. I'm thinking
well, these guys like Iggy, Shani, and you came in and kind of special forces this place right up.
Are you taking the nickname on?
I'm owning the shit out of Beats.
So
Beats by day.
Yeah.
Beats by day.
Beats oven.
Sheets by night.
Hey. Just keeps getting better.
It keeps getting better and better. So if you're willing, of course, the ATVs are inexpensive. We make them here, so we'll replenish those. Don't feel bad about losing those. They're,
cool.
They're just transportation.
Already not caring.
Cool. So there's 3 places to go. If you would like to check them out.
Okay. What are the places?
So, on a lone mountain apart from the Ozarks, just pretty far north from here, getting into Coalition, Missouri.
How do you spell Missouri?
Yep. It's Yuaaeeeep. Yep. Pretty far away. It's the most remote one. There is a set of standing stones on the mountain. Obviously, from what you've already known from all of your travels, standing stones and stone magic is a big thing. It pretty much can take the place of a nexus. So that, there's no nexus around, there's no ley lines around or anything like that, but just the fact that it's there could be the potential. There's a lot of ley storm activity that can occur there. There's rifts that have opened up there. It's normally out of our radar and just pretty far out there, but it's close enough that if he's still trying to pull the big one through, if he's still trying to get something to annihilate us, he may go there and try. The next is a valley forest that we have avoided since our time even before finding Castle Refuge. The valley, we call it Valley Nowhere, as anyone that goes in there and has ever come back talks about being lost, kind of in a dream state, odd encounters, So the place is just saturated in some type of magic, probably fey, otherworldly. The entire zone may just be a shifted environment. It's just a shifted landscape into another world. We can completely see a shifter wanting to go there and trying to co-opt that land for himself. The last is a nexus in the south. When the Broadkill first started attacking, before we even knew they were Broadkill, the southern regions were a big part, or the most frequently hit. Now, since they've pulled back, they're not hitting from any specific area, but besides being a nexus that the shifter may go to set up a new base of operations, we think that maybe the Broadkill have a base, or at least a central hub there.
Are those standing stones going to affect your senses like a nexus point would?
No, not on their own, unless they're being used. One of the good things about standing stones is, yeah, they're magical, but they don't overwhelm because they're contained.
Aren't they also fairly protected from that while in the power armor?
Absolutely. And now that you're in power armor,
smell anything.
Right, like I can't undo my thing and be like, oh, what?
Now that he's in the power armor, he has kind of like that protection, but he won't also have the senses. So, but these things aren't as scary to him anymore. Mm-hmm. You just lose the fact that he can track magical stuff when you're near him.
The shifted valley sounds interesting because it could be where he's at. It sounds like most likely, but the getting down and shooting some gargoyles would be fun again. Broadkill. But I feel like that mountain that's way out of the way is where we could be most useful, because if they're sending just a couple of people, we should go to the farthest space away.
And she's like, honestly, your team is the most free and the most qualified to deal with these encounters. We're not, sending people into a shifted forest to go get lost while we're in the middle of a war. We're not going to go start hunting down the Broadkill's base just yet when we're still showing up our defenses. Mm. So all three of these are on your checklist, and it seems like the Standing Stone is the easiest one to check off. Or Sulu, either way. Just go up there.
I had to sink in a little bit.
Just go up there, and if it's there, it's a standing stone on top of a mountain. Mm-hmm. If he's not there, he's not there. You can check it off your list and get back to us as soon as possible.
What do you think?
Well, I was thinking either killing a bunch of Broadkill or check out the stones, and I was like, I don't necessarily want to fuck around with a shifting forest right now, but
yeah, it's in a valley too.
Your idea was Broadkill would be fun, forest is interesting, but you were leaning toward the stones too. So let's go check out those first then, since that seems to be what we were both kind of. Unless Shani has a.
No, she wants to check out the stones.
Okay. Let's go check out the stones.
Shani says, also, hey, I want to offer this. Might be unconventional, but I am an Atlantean. We do travel dimension to dimension by stones, and we use the stone magic to communicate and move. While we're there... While we're there, if we don't have to deal with a shifter, if he's not there, I can send out a distress call to Atlanteans and maybe summon reinforcements.
Where? The stones?
At the stones.
Let's go to the stones.
So she may be able to bring more Atlanteans to bear, and it would open up Castle Refuge to Atlanteans. Atlanteans would know about this place.
Sounds like a win-win-win. Let's give that a shot then.
Let's head for the stones.
All right. So, you want to make a check on your armor?
Yeah.
Mechanical, electrical, whatever skill you got.
Let's do the electrical. It's a little better. $10 plus probably.
Plus, I think you have some pluses.
+1 for electrical.
Okay, so yeah, 11. It's shiny. It's new. The chromium. You can't even tell where the chromium peeled off from the original chromium that was on there.
I hit it with a tuning fork.
Ding ding. Yep. You want to check his arm? No, bang.
Yeah, might as well. That'll make me feel better.
You're keeping the railgun, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm checking the shit out of your armor. 11 plus a 12.
Everything you expect from Dwarven crafters. It's much more comfortable for you now. Like, they actually have a slot for your tail. You don't have to just tuck it down your legs. You have a little mechanical tail thing in the back now.
There's more room for my nuts.
For your red rocket.
Saint Bernard got big nuts.
They literally glued a piece of lipstick to the front. So
they molded the helm. They molded the helmet much better now, so it's like form-fitting to you and not pushing and up on your cheeks and jowls.
Out of all the checks to really nail, those would be the ones.
Right.
You want
to check her armor?
I checked my armor, right?
You want to check her armor?
No. I don't even know what I was talking about. Looks like a tattoo that turned into armor.
Right.
How does it look? It looks like it's on.
Break time! Yeah. So, you have your new ATVs. You're sticking with those rock climber ATVs, right?
Yeah.
You got your new ATVs. You get put into the airship along with the Sugar Skull escort. The two Sky Cycle pilots.
Okay. I was like, the what?
Be right back.
Are they going to drop us off at the mountain? Or?
Yep. They are.
Dope. How do you always get back?
I know, right? I leave after, I come back before.
You must have complications in it, like jump
No,
period.
it's the smaller ones hold less.
What is it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, me.
Well, because you always like leave before he does, but he gets back.
Like you,
before
yeah, you leave to go to the bathroom, and then I sit here and talk, and then I leave
Oh,
and come back
I'll tell you the story about that off
because
camera.
it's because the smaller ones hold less.
No, there's a real reason behind it. I'll tell you off camera. It's not that interesting of a story.
So you guys are put in the transport like you were last time. You snuck the transport last time, but this time they're giving authorizing it for you, and you got the Sugar Skull girls
Sweet.
Escorting.
They're on sky bikes, right?
Yep, they're on Sky Cycles.
Those are so cool. God, I love those things. It's the helmet too, which is funny because the actual shape of the helmet would mean you'd be riding like this the whole time.
No, like
it goes like this though.
Well, it goes down and up.
It goes. So, but you would have I don't know. I would have to.
Well, you also have to look at it's an extension of the.
Absolutely, but having that raised fin in the back just to me.
Oh yeah,
like it has a little bit in the back, and so
to push down.
It's perfect. Like maybe if you touched your helmet to the,
I think that's what it is.
That would hold you in place because it would pull your head up and you would be like locked in. But I've thought about that for hundreds of hours. Like that's one of those things. I've looked at it so much. I feel like until I wear it myself in a wind tunnel, I'm convinced that it's improperly designed.
I don't know. I'm okay with it, but obviously it wasn't designed by an engineer.
Oh no.
The fuck is this? What the hell are we talking about?
The Sky Cycle pilot helmets.
They're very unique, and the Sky Cycle itself is really neat. But I was saying that I feel like they're...
You think that it pushes you up. Look at the Sky Cyclist itself. Don't look at just the helmet.
No, totally.
Is that... I thought you passed it.
It's right here. I mean, there's the... It's right here, but...
No, it's the other way. You passed it earlier.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm in the right spot now, because it denotes...
No, it's in the vehicle section, not the character section.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking in OCCs. My bad. There we go.
Like you just... Yep. Maybe. Yes.
No, I've gone into... Well...
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yes. There it is.
So...
Yes. So
my thing is that the lip on the helmet...
is going to make it...
would create drag.
Down.
Would make you pull your head... Here you go. Would make your head... Because you'd have the wind right there, but as soon as it whips up, it would actually pull your head back like that. Because that would be drag.
I also think...
I agree that it looks like it's supposed to be part of an extension of the windshield. Absolutely. It should create a break. That dip down would create... But I guess I'm not an engineer.
No.
I've thought about this so much because I think this bike looks so cool. I think the helmet looks so badass.
And imagine it sugar skulled out.
I just think it's cool as hell, and I just... like I said, until I make one, wear it myself, and then go into a wind tunnel, I'm convinced that it creates drag.
I almost did like a third thing to you guys today, but I'm like, I guess there's no reason for it because I sent you the gargoyle light size comparison.
I had seen that one.
And then I sent you the big long size comparison, like Glitter Boy to Flame Elemental Spirit.
I had seen the physical body comparison before. Yeah, I had not seen the machinery.
Oh wait, what?
What?
No, it is not homebrew, actually. It is licensed. So Savage Rifts is a thing. You might want to show them there. So Savage Rifts was a Kickstarter. Palladium actually licensed out to Savage Worlds for them to do their own version. So this is not homebrew. It's real. It's it's out there. It's part of the canon now, and it's actually progressing the storyline.
Actually, although it's not super necessary, we get a little anal about being thorough for fun here. So these are individual pluses, minuses, character sheets. My actual character sheet.
Yep.
Both sides, handwritten, all kinds of junk like that. So we really get down on the rule a little bit here. His story style seems to make the fighting and combat system kind of fall into the background, which I enjoy. I don't know how you feel about it.
I do ignore and fudge a lot of rules in Savage Worlds. I ignore a lot of them because I don't want my players ever to not take an action. Because they go, the penalties will be too high. So I just kind of let things flow and just let the dice roll and determine. But yeah, this is all legit. Savage Worlds licensed riffs. They're supposedly they had just done Flash Gordon and they did a couple others. They did Conan and one I can't remember the name of. But they're supposed to be getting to Phase 2. Right now they have the Savage Worlds setting, basic. The Game Master's book, Savage Foes of North America, which is just it talks about Coalition, Federation of Magic, the New Pecos Empire, the standard demon, gargoyle, broadkill, just standard enemies that are Zytikic that are in the game. They have a Coalition field manual and a couple of the little things, lots of adventures. But they're about to come out with Phase 2 of the books, which is going to put in more detail the Coalition, the Zytikic, the Vampire Kingdoms, the Federation of Magic, and magic use in general.
And we specifically use Savage Rifts because Wiley and I are both big fans of Rifts, the actual universe, the old source book and things like that. I found this in not this one, but I found this book in a thrift shop when I was like 12, and I've had it ever since. The pages are worn and folded and stuff like that. But as our DM, he prefers the Savage Worlds actual like rolling style. Rifts has a different kind of combat system and has a different kind of.
So Palladium still does put out their version of Rifts, and they're still producing for it. Rifter comes out every couple months. They're still putting out books. They're on a revised edition, like number 3 or 4. So there is just now two choices to do for the system. So the Savage World's much faster, more generic. It doesn't handle damage as well as some might, because it's a threshold system. Either like you're kind of alive or knocked out. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard to do armor in that system in Savage Worlds, because it kind of gets overpowering. But also Palladium, in the Palladium system, they didn't worry about balance at all. So you could have a dog boy running around with the glitter boy, and the moment I shot something at the glitter boy to kill him, then he'd just be dead. Mm-hmm.
Not just that, too, to add to that homebrew thing that we were saying earlier, even though we're trying to follow the rules as much as possible, the story is what we're really here for. We really have a good time together. We do want to do some combat. It's more fun to roll than do nothing. But he's not trying to just kill us. Like, we're trying to succeed. Death is an option. I've already lost a character, but we've also been playing the same story since October.
Yeah.
At least, like, we try to do it once a week. We've missed, I think, 6 sessions altogether so far, but that's since October, so it's not a big deal.
We have, like, you can look through my Twitch channel, and it'll have, like, the last 8 or 9 episodes. But on my YouTube channel, which I will link to my Twitch, which is YouTube, I'm user Karmic Cycle, KARMICCYCLE, all one word. It has the entire run of this game, and like we even started and we were doing it wrong.
I think we're on the 4th session. We're like, rule changes.
Whoa! I've been running this way wrong. Like, this has been an easy mode for you guys, but you can go back and watch this entire plot line play out from where they started to where they are now.
Which I think is boring, most part, but some people enjoy it.
You've already played it.
But I've been playing some. I know, but also I was going to say, is this the same person that was thinking about GM and his own
game?
This
is
a new person.
This is GT7992C.
So going back.
Sorry if I mispronounced that the way you want it pronounced.
The fun part about going back and watching some of these is something we were talking about earlier in the session, is escalation. Because when we started, he's GM'd before, but he's never GM'd with like a pyromancer and a dog boy. We had weapons, we had towers and things like that. We hadn't done a lot of things.
I didn't know the system, and I didn't know the scale.
Yeah, so as we played, we did like my burster character, which is basically a psychic pyromancer. Okay, cool,
yeah.
Perfect. I melted to shit everything. It was like every round is melt, melt, melt. So he keeps making things harder and harder and harder, and we're actually getting a really good feeling of escalation. Every time that we sit down and actually go to battle, it gets more and more and more messed up, to the point where, last session I spent 10 rounds repairing my gun while he tried to kill 5 or 6 people. He's being mean, but he's also putting our characters to the test, so we have some escalation issues to deal with. So tune in next time, because we just destroyed a Gargoyle Lord and nuked a fucking castle, so I can only imagine what next week's... Yeah, right? What's next week going to have, so we'll see. She definitely come back.
We're going to poke
Thank you for watching.
Poke some stones, totally. And nothing's going to happen.
Or that'll happen. We'll go all the way to these stones.
I'm going to go to the stones and be like, we're good here.
They smell like rock.
Yeah. They're definitely magical.
They're definitely magical. That's the worst
you
notice
marked
ever.
Them.
Yeah. God. That's the worst notice check ever. You sense magic. Well, where? What the fuck? You rolled a 4. You sense magic.
So, you are in the air. Your pilot is flying your transport. You're in the back. You guys have your ATVs. You're just in your glitter boy.
Are we in the air?
You're in the air, yeah. You're in a transport ship.
I am.
Yes.
They're not.
They are too. They are in their ATVs.
Oh, we're in our ATVs in the air. Okay.
They have their ATVs in the air.
Gotcha.
It's just a big, long turtle shell looking ship. It's very alien in feel. Like, it doesn't feel like it was made by humans. It doesn't feel like it was made by Northern Gun or Coalition or Ipschming or Titan. It doesn't feel like that kind of a thing. And you've been in this transport before, but it's a turtle shell looking thing. It's got kind of anti-grav thrusters, makes weird noises. It's very alien. You'd think that it came probably through the rifts somewhere at some point. Did Atlantean phone home? No, can't phone home anymore. Those Bluegorth have that place. Lost home.
Boring.
And you have the two sugar skulls. So their two escorts are two, like we were talking about the Sky Cycles earlier. They're two Sky Cycle pilots that have defected from Lone Star. So they're really big on the Southern culture and their heritage. So they sugar skulled up their armors and their jets. One is like white with like the black dots and a couple other the big black circles and other things. And then the other one is just abstract Frida-like art with her sugar skull face.
So
a bunch of colors, blocks, and in no particular order.
So then I have a political question about this, because we've talked about these guys before. If we're seen as a group, I'm pretty kill on sight, because I'm Glitter Boy, obviously.
You are not liked, but you're not kill on sight.
Okay, but how about our sugar girls?
Yeah,
they're defectors. They're using coalition equipment. They're going first. They're the target. They're basically taunting nonstop. Okay.
Yeah. If you run into coalition, which you are between two coalition states, you're just in a very remote part where they don't really. That's
not the danger that we're facing at the moment.
Yeah. Right. You are going north, though, and north is getting into CS Missouri. So, and they do watch this play, they watch Missouri like a hound, because the Federation of Magic is spreading into there. Mm-hmm. And this kind of a standing stone situation is exactly what the Coalition wants to lock down and keep away from the Federation of Magic.
You might find a pretty bitch girl. Dumb girl.
A bitch girl? That's not PC at all.
You said it.
You said it.
I know.
You look at the wrong person. You said it. You did.
This wasn't looking at you. I meant you.
You guys head out. Early morning. Hey, what?
Stop shuffling.
This is the initiative deck. This is when they see me shuffling this, they start getting nervous. Really nervous. Look at them.
It always means battle.
They don't like it at all.
Well, it's because I draw notoriously low, so the more shuffling.
So this is
takes them like 10 turns to do.
You're out of the Ozarks. You're going into Missouri. It's horrible. It starts to flatten out, and then there's just kind of like this mountain. I mean, it's not as big as any of like the main Ozarks line, but it's a pretty big kind of hill out in the middle of nowhere. Got some little hills around it. Good terrain. But the first thing you notice is it's still early morning. You just finished your breakfast burritos, your steak figure breakfast burritos.
That sounds really good.
And it's getting dark. It's already getting dark, and the pilot calls back and says, "Yeah, we got a problem. There is a massive ley line storm over that mountain. Mm-hmm. Do you want to abort, or do you want me to drop you outside of the storm and you walk in?"
Turn us around! This bitch around! We have to finish, but we're not flying into that.
Yeah, you're not going to fly in. You can... being on the ground.
I don't know. Never mind. Sorry, Iggy went there. Not.
Yeah, Iggy went there. But
James never seen it. I've seen one, but I've never.
No, you guys got dropped into a ley line storm up in the Devil Hills.
That's right. Yeah, drop us outside of that. We can't go. I don't know. You want to go home? You want to go back?
I want to go back, but
drop us outside of the.
Shani's like, last time we saw one of these, the shifter was summoning stuff through it.
Yeah.
I don't think we can ignore it. But this is almost a sure sign that He's here.
So drop us on like the bottom side of the mountain or something.
As close as you can get us.
Just outside of the storm, where if you can tell where that is.
Yep.
I'm not flying into that thing.
Because that could fuck up the ship we're in right now.
Oh yeah.
I had trouble trusting.
They're not going to fly it.
Yeah, I have trouble trusting my own armor. I'm not trusting this guy's flying abilities and aircraft.
Right. Oh, and yeah, they're not going to. He's not going to risk it. Like. He's like, I can fly into the storm, and then gravity will change.
Yeah.
There's no accounting for that. It doesn't matter how good of a pilot I am.
Yep, drop us off.
So, I'm going to put you on the ground and let gravity change for you guys, and you can fall into the sky.
Cool.
Pick us back up.
So.
Thanks, we'll see you in like 5 sessions.
Right. So he flies down into the foothills that are surrounding this mount. He pushes as hard and deep as he can get in there. Fair enough. Do you know a good hole in the wall where they appreciate a good hole in the wall?
Plates. It's what's dinner's on.
Nighttime. It's when's dinner. So. He gets you as far as he's comfortable into the storm and drops you off behind a bluff of some foothills. The sugar girls have dropped back way before that. Like, they can't handle their bikes in that much torrent. And they're like, good luck. If you want my advice, I'd say hunker down until this thing blows over. I'm going to stand by within 20 miles, 25 miles. So I'm going to try to stand by within 25 miles for the next 5 hours. So I'll be on standby for pickup.
Great.
Otherwise, I'm coming back I'll check back in 2-3 days.
Okay, then. We can't argue with that. That makes sense. You be safe. You do what you got to do. Come back when we need you. So.
But like, if you need attraction right now, you guys have done enough for us. I'll go the extra mile for you guys.
Can I jump out of this height all dramatic? Superhero landing.
Superhero landing. Superhero landing.
Oh, it's terrible on my knees.
Well, like your kneecap goes yellow on the green.
Damn it! I gotta get out of my suit and repair this.
Gotta fix that. Superhero landing.
All right, next couple hours, he's polishing his kneecap.
Out in a ley line storm.
It's what I'm a boy pilot.
So. You're looking up, like, you can't see the top of the mountain. That would have just been way too easy. It's wreathed in this storm.
Do you want to risk waiting it for an hour or two, or do you want to get up there while it's hot?
Shani's like, we should at least see if the storm is building or diminishing. Or staying the same. Like, give it a couple hours and see if we can tell.
That's not a bad idea.
It makes sense.
Just hang out right outside of it and see what it's doing.
It's barbecue. I'll take a look at my knees.
If it's diminishing...
Are you going to get out of your armor?
No.
Okay.
I also did not, just so we're clear, I did not jump out of the aircraft.
You jumped out a little bit, just not superhero landing level.
Heavy armor landing.
I'm going to roll this.
Let's see, is that random effects?
I am. I'm going to roll the shiny d20.
No, I meant we rolling the storm
effects. The storm effects, yes. Yes,
you are rolling the storm effects.
I am rolling the storm effects. The shiny d20.
The first time we were there, I was like, He's like, I'm rolling for effect. No. I knew it was coming. It's difficult to read.
Oh, that threw me off for a second. Interesting.
If he picked it up and rolled it again,
it's like, what? Wait, it's on a chart. That means
what does that even mean?
The chart goes to 40.
No, it's one of those. If like you roll a 20, it says roll 3 times on this chart and apply all effects. Like, son of a bitch! No. You guys land, and you kind of like find a nice little overhang where you can get out of the rain and possible lightning strikes of this storm. When a man on a horse rides up. No, unfortunately not.
Damn it!
He rode a motorcycle anyway.
Yeah. It is a cybernetic horse, and he rides up, and he looks like he is in
A cowboy.
medievalish armor.
He's on a steel horse. Is he
On
wanted?
a steel horse,
Is he wanted,
I
dead,
ride.
or alive?
He sees you, like, because you're big and shiny. He says, hello, what hellish storm envelops us?
That one?
Whose God's wrath have we incurred?
Oh, God, it is practice. Oh, I'm the talker, goddamn.
Yeah, you're the one with charisma.
We came.
Hey.
We came to investigate the same thing.
I'll hold off a bunch of gargoyles, but you gotta freaking talk.
You gotta talk to Don Quixote here.
Yeah, we're here to check. Also here to find out the answer to that question.
Lo, I was sent to talk to the oracle on the mountain, and it seems that the gods themselves are trying to impede me. I know not what you are, friend, but you shine like the sun.
Next time we're at my house, you guys are all talking to marbles for like an hour. By oracle, do you mean the stones?
The oracle lives in the stones. She is called from them.
Are the stones acting funny?
I would say yes, my friend.
Who sent you?
My village. I am their champion.
Do you live on this plane or another?
Well, hold on. Hold on. Well, of course I live on this plane.
Damn it. So this has been on Earth the whole time.
What plane do you live on?
It took off and dropped us off a few minutes ago. God damn it. We're looking for a shifter who made his presence known at a stone similar to this one. We saw activity similar to this one, and we were hoping to encounter him again and engage him in battle.
I know nothing of what you speak, good friend, but my realm is in mortal danger by the devourer by Tikik.
Oh no, are they here in this valley?
I have been sent to beseech the oracle on the mount.
Do you need company?
Well, if our quests take us in the same way, then I say fate has brought us together.
Giant metal high five. Excellent. I mean, glorious.
Glorious. He reaches back and pulls out his lance, which has his flag banner on it, and says, "There is no stopping the storm. It's only our perseverance against it. Forward, friends!" And starts to try to, like, ride up the mountain.
I try as hard as I can to give you a sideways glance in armor that
In
does a
armor,
sideways
like-
glance.
You take a selfie inside your helmet and send it to him. Comes up on his screen.
It looks like when someone lets the air out of an anime character. It's like...
How did we find this guy? Like...
I don't know. I say follow him. I know... So I have interactions with Cyber Knights, and these guys are usually on the level. If he's here, then something's definitely up. And I can tell you right now, after seeing my armor, that he's not going to be a foe. So.
Shani, you ready?
Yep. She armors up.
Right. Let's go.
Alright, so...
Sounds so excited.
You guys are driving, going. Do you have survival? I don't think you do.
I thought I did, but I do not.
You have survival.
This guy's got survival.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
I have an armor.
Shani's
survival, no armor.
Shani's going to aid you. Go ahead and roll survival to help them trek up the side.
Ooh,
she gives you a +1.
That's how you survive.
So I'll take an 11 plus 1, 12.
Alright, so that's
that's easy.
success with 2 raises.
You teach us how to fish while we walk up a hill.
We're going up. This is like
something you're noticing about this man is he is stabilizing reality around him a little bit.
Is he doing it around us as well? Is the bubble large?
It's just, yeah, like if you stay with him as you are, because you're keeping up with him, but something about his presence seems to be defending against the leyline storm, at least lessening it. You're not sure if it's a Cyber Knight thing or whatever this guy is from whatever world this guy is, but it almost seems like it's just a normal storm around him where it's the reality warping leyline storm everywhere else.
Well, I would stay close then.
Yeah.
Right. Good plan.
And give his metal horse a metal pet.
Static
electricity.
You don't even you can't even
Are
see...
you wanting me to tell everyone like, hey, stay close to this guy? He's clearly got
it's open for questions. So it's like, when we look out of the bubble, can we see differences, or is it just
yeah. Like you see the ley lightning hitting places. You see reality shifting, like the terrain shifting in places, and it just doesn't seem to be happening around him.
All right. Is this? I guess I would ask him then. Like, is this a spell that you're weaving, or is this your armor that's doing this, or are you physically not capable of being affected by this storm?
Make a charisma check.
Because I was going to say, because knowing this could help us later, yeah.
Yeah. Persuasion with your bonus to charisma.
Yeah, +4. I'm very nice.
Did you roll 2 sixes?
Yeah, it's critical success.
Damn.
So do I add both when it's a critical?
No, you don't add both. But
so my
just
highest score was
12.
15, so 19 I rolled.
Damn. So you find yourself when you're talking to him, like all of a sudden like talking like him a little bit more. No. Like hey friend,
do it.
What is it?
What causeth this bubble surround us?
How is it that you protect yourself from the storm?
Do you hold back the blight of this storm yourself, or advertently, or is this a passive skill that you have provided or enchanted?
So it is the faiths in the divine, the Omnissiah.
The Omnissiah, is this a weapon? Or what god do you speak of? There are only men here.
Only men? That is too bad, my friend. It seems like someone encased in such metal would do well to worship the Omnissiah.
Does your horse worship the Omnissiah?
My horse is bestowed upon me by the Omnissiah.
So yes.
It's just a horse, though. It doesn't worship anything.
I understand. So can mere mortals such as I, encased as I am, bring about The powers of the Omnissiah himself?
You, between Shani and yourself, and talking and interacting and, like, her worldly knowledge, or otherworldly knowledge, she's like, this guy comes from a realm where technology is magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know how much of him is real, like, how much of him is person. They may be all robots.
Gotcha.
I've only encountered that once before in a place called Cybertron. It was a really weird place.
So you have an Energon cube.
not mini Bob.
Yeah.
And you give the little Energon waiver.
It's empty. They're invincible. I can't even break it.
So obviously, like, this guy is
evidence of an Energon cube ever breaking in any of the series. Sorry, anyway.
This guy is displaced from his realm, and his realm is all like techno-wizardry,
yeah.
like divine techno-wizardry. But whatever the faith is, mystics of any creed, no matter what they worship, have some power, and that seems to be what's going on. His faith is rewarded in his realm, which during the storm is
That was
here.
the question. So, as far as divinity is concerned in the world of Rifts, are there gods?
Yes and no.
Depends, yes, no. Okay.
Like, you could, like, there are mystics. Mystics
So, like
exist.
what you were saying specifically, though, where he's from, prayer is answered.
Right.
Okay.
And in Rift's Earth, there are mystics.
Yeah.
And they are killed on sight by the Coalition because they don't know where that power comes from, and it scares the hell out of them.
Makes sense.
But that divinity that anyone in Rift's Earth can pray, right? When it starts answering that person, that's fucking weird. It's rare, but it is answered. Like that, if it's just their psychosomatic use of their own PPE, or if they're actually being answered by a higher power, is still up for debate.
So, new friend, can you teach me the ways of calling upon Omnissiah? You've lived in Rift's Earth long enough. You know that you're not a magic user. Gotcha.
You're not you're not gonna be able to tap into this.
Then onward to the stones.
Yeah, it's not like the moment you get out of this ley storm, whatever the Omnissiah was or is on another plane of existence doesn't matter to you.
Gotcha.
Now, not to say, and Shani could say, like, yeah, I could take you to a world where you could pray and be answered, but the moment you leave that world, it's not going to follow you.
Makes sense.
But in that world, everyone can pray and be answered, not just magic users.
So I'm asking the wrong questions. Basically, just continue.
We've
discovered enough.
There was you had this ley storm. It was an odd windfall that this weirdo techno-wizard knight showed up and was able to forge you through the storm. But as you head up,
can't believe you never asked his name.
He told us his name, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Oh, he didn't. Well, then definitely I would have asked him that in conversation. Sorry, I know. I swear he did. I just as soon as you said that, I'm like, I didn't even remember his name.
I am Sir Artseval.
I was hoping his name would be Jeff or something.
Jeff the Techno Knight.
I am Steve.
Artseval. How do you spell that crap?
Artzival. Artseval.
Don't speak that fast at me. ART.
ART like art. ZIV.
Got it.
AL.
Sir Artseval.
Sir Artseval.
Sir's his first name?
Yes.
You don't have to put a senior in there.
No. Wait for his last name, though. George. Sir Artseval George. No, just kidding.
Was he a techno wizard cyber knight?
He's a cyber knight.
He is a techno knight.
Cyber knights are the same thing.
No, cyber knights can't have implants. Oddly enough,
right.
They're called cyber knights because of the armor they wear. He's a techno knight from some dimension you have no idea. But he did mention that his world...
Weird.
That he did mention something that was attacking his world. I don't know if you want to take note of that or not.
So if the GM tells you to take notice, then you should take note.
Like, do you want me to repeat it or not? It doesn't matter to me either way.
No, I get it.
No, really, it doesn't matter to me whether you write it down or not. It was this guy's world that you're never going to have to deal with ever again.
Well, we don't know that. What if we get up to the stones? He's like, I want to tap into my world. We're like, no, there's something attacking that shit. Don't bring that shit here.
I don't want to fight Arts of War. Because every time he rolls his successful roll, he'd be like, success!
Yeah, he just shut your armor off. Omnisci, disable this heretic. Shit.
Alright, so on our way up.
So you're on your way up when 3 lightning strikes hit on the rocks above you, and rocks start tumbling down at you, but then as they're tumbling, they form together and turn into rock gargoyles? They're not gargoyles.
Are they golems?
They're basically stone elemental winged creatures. They look more like traditional gargoyles than the creatures you know. Like,
so they're
stone.
Smaller?
Yeah, they're about
they're not 20 feet tall.
No, they're 8 feet tall, winged, like clawed stone things, and they're like leaping at you. Arceval just takes his lance with his banner, points it down, and says, "Charge! Nothing will stand in our way!" And that's going to be the beginning of you following Sir Arceval up the mountain to speak to the Oracle in the stones. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, GT7992C. I don't know how to put those numbers together. 7,992C.
799.
It's GT7992C. Thank you for watching. Next week will be same time, 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Are we mountain time still? Arizona
We're
time?
Arizona General Mountain Time. It's weird.
Crap. We are...
I don't know if we're Pacific or Mountain right now.
We
don't do that.
We're Pacific because Mountain is.
Yeah, we're back on Pacific.
We're specific time.
We're Pacific time, so it's not. It's 8:54.
We're 3 hours behind Eastern.
Yeah. So 7 to 10. I'm Karmic Cycle on Twitter. I announce before I go live every time. This guy is Giant Hippo on Twitter, and this guy is Big Dick McGee on Twitter. He doesn't.
You can also send me snail mail.
He does.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, man.
So thank you for interacting.
Appreciate it.
It's fun to talk to the crowd. We're leaving off with you guys trying to figure out what's going on at this mount. Is the shifter here? Is he not? Is it just some other plot you're just being dropped into? Some other realm? Next week, also be sure to check out our backlog of all the episodes. YouTube, Karmic Cycle, KARMIC CYCLE, all one word. Thank you. See you next week.